Oh, that's okay. I knew this day would happen.
Prepare yourself.
I knew this day would come.
And they came.
No.
Do.
No. It's okay. I knew this day would happen.
Coming again!
Anything but that. Ah! That's just how we start the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah!
Jesus.
Welcome back to
Coming
me
again!
streaming.
Ah.
Ah!
Hang on.
Hey, there was
What?
that guy on YouTube who got like 10 trillion views just sitting and smiling. We could do the same thing. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, okay, everyone just sit here silently and smile.
Yeah.
Alright. What do we change our about like bio to? What do we change it to?
Big
Freaks.
bitches.
Big bitches.
I don't think we could actually do that.
Are there any?
Like the 1984, dude. Yeah, George.
Oh, yeah.
George is our he's our resident big bitch.
Yeah,
He's our
yeah.
mascot.
Affectionately. George is the marketable plushie. Man,
He is, dude.
can we? Hey George, can we? If we ever make money, can our first like piece of merch be like a George plush? It's just him.
He would be like, man, I don't know.
He would not be comfortable with that. It's
Like one of
just
those-
him, like not
Like
his
one of
character.
those Matt Mercer shirts that Sam Riegel wears.
Yeah, it's like that, except
It's George. We turn him into a little mascot.
I think
Fuck hole at the bottom.
George is absolutely the most marketable, though.
kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. This is how you get called racist.
Oh, damn it! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
Just
you
too
didn't even think
whitewashed.
about the fact that George is also the resident, not white person.
That's okay. We can say he's white passing, and then we.
You can't say that to him. You can't say that to him. You can't say that to him. Connor
No,
said that to him, and it ruined his life.
The worst thing you can say to someone, honestly.
That was the meanest thing you've ever said, Connor.
I think if, as a white person, I think if someone told me I was white passing, I would be like, "What do you mean by that?
That would be,
Don't worry
that'd be
about that.
interesting.
What do you mean by that?"
Should I make our bio white passing?
Do not do that.
No.
Why not?
We are.
Well, we are not. What should our bio be then?
I don't know. It's just so we'll have to think about it. It's something I can think of.
It should be swag, and then it should say in parentheses, secretly we are gay.
Yeah. We'd have to look at what other D&D like people have in their bio, and then we could make our own kind of based off the.
All right. Well, for now it's swag in parentheses. Secretly we are gay. Cursed D&D group.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't want to say bitches because they might not want that, but I'm gonna say
They
broads.
might not want that. Broad. Yeah, broads.
I don't think broad. Because broad's
Yeah.
a term you could say.
I mean,
Or is that sexist? Maybe we shouldn't say that one.
Got a lot of this broad.
They're all sexist, Don.
I don't think we could really do much.
Man,
Yeah, don't put that in there.
big
Femmes welcome.
big guys, femmes welcome.
Yeah. Not sexual.
People are gonna think this is a sex thing. Yeah, you need to
Nothing
not-
sexual.
Nothing sexual. You need to put that at the back.
Yeah, because someone might just sit there and be like, "Hey, fuck this group."
Yeah. We don't want that. Yeah, and you need to put like a bicep emoji.
You know what? I'm
Do
just
like
gonna leave it
flexing
as I'm
mom.
gonna do the swag joke and then just do cursed D&D group and leave it at that for now.
Okay.
I feel like anything. I feel like anything more, and we dig ourselves into a hole.
I think we have already dug ourselves a hole to begin with.
We'll do here. We'll start there. We'll do a new bio. I was talking to Connor and Alan about it would be really funny if we got like when we get like affiliate or whatever and we we make money and we fight over like the $2 we get.
When?
Yeah. I believe we could make $2.
I'm confident, Connor. I'm very confident. We are gonna make at least $5. Wow,
Well,
streaming.
We gotta fund our Minecraft server somehow.
God.
Yeah. That's we only make enough to fund the Minecraft server. Based, honestly.
I think affiliate's going to be pretty difficult for us.
Yeah, we're not marketable.
No, affiliate is the first one.
Yeah. I think-
Verified's the big one. That's the big chungus.
Yeah.
That one's hard. To get affiliate, all you need is you just need like 50 followers, right? Hold on, let me check.
You also had to affiliate can get difficult sometimes depending on like the content too, and stream scheduling.
Hang on. Let me.
Let me go make my bot account so we can get 50 followers.
Also, partnered is a very difficult one to get your hands on too.
Well, yeah, partner's the big one. That's like, this is your actual job.
Yeah.
That's why we're just gonna rely on donations. Say, hey, if you don't want these characters to die, you better fucking do
I've
it.
got a gun to Henry's head right now.
We just have a leaderboard of who has the most funding to keep
Yeah,
alive.
affiliate is in 30 days. You have to stream on 7 different days. You have to have an average of 3 viewers, and you have to stream for at least 8 hours total in a 30-day period. And then you also overall have to have 50 followers.
Alright.
That's the one.
That's not awful.
That's not awful. We don't stream 7 different days because
No.
we only play 4 days a month.
Yeah, we'd have to.
It's fine. It's fine. We're fine.
Whatever. We'll
Whatever.
cross that. We have like
Figure it
5.
out.
We have like 5 followers.
Who cares? We have 20 actually.
Oh.
21.
Excuse me.
Yeah, 21 actually. People
21?
like us.
I stand corrected.
Spooky. Where'd your confidence go? You've always said that we're hilarious.
We are hilarious, but people don't realize it yet. They don't know what's good for them.
But that's why we're gonna show them.
We're gonna show the world that we are hilarious. We're gonna show the world that a bunch of quirked up white boys can make it in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
We can make it in this
Never
crazy world.
been done before. Quirked up white boys
God.
making strides.
It's time for white boys to have their day in the sun. You know
It
what I
is
mean?
white boy summer.
It is.
You know what, Don? Change the bio right now. White boy summer.
No. No.
I'm gonna add
That's
that.
what the caravan's doing. It's white boy summer. That's what they're doing.
Fuck, you're right. It is white boy summer for the caravan. Hang on, let me change it.
I mean, Zay's blue, Ferrix is gray, Brody's a robot, whatever.
Yeah. In reality, there's only 2 white boys.
You know what? White boy's a state of mind, and I think we got it.
Here's what I'm gonna do. All right, I made the bio. I added white boy summer. It's a state of mind in parentheses.
Yeah,
No, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
this state of mind, parentheses, get well soon. Jealousy is a disease.
Dear God.
Don't dilute it. Don't dilute it. Don't dilute the message.
It will get to a point that's too long, and people are like, the fuck is this?
I think people are. I think you assume people are
I
just
think we're
suspicious of everything.
I think we're speaking to a very primal.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people who are gonna read that and be like, I gotta stay.
They're gonna read that and they're gonna think, God, finally, someone like me represents.
Exactly. You don't understand.
I'm well aware that I'm very paranoid on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think people are very
It's good
primal.
you ground us. You ground us,
You
Alan.
do. You provide a good.
Yeah.
We also only have one rule.
Yeah, don't
That's
be
that
the
there are
bad.
no rules.
I think this rule encompasses everything.
Almost, yeah.
Just don't be a
Okay.
bad kind of freak.
Who are we missing?
Plef.
Right. Where is he?
Said he was gonna be here about 5:30.
He's dead.
Whatever. Ferrex took a coffee nap and he's in a coma.
He had a coffee the second time before the first
Yeah,
time.
if you guys want to start, we could start. It's 5:05. Oh shit! Hang on, I gotta change the title real quick. Title's wrong.
Change out my tittle.
Did I ever send you those assets over?
No.
Shit. I thought I sent you the new start.
Alan, stop talking about your assets on stream.
The new starting soon.
Yeah.
You might have. I think you did.
I sent a whole bunch. Yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah, you did, because there's like a gajillion of them.
Yes, because I could not put them into one file to send it over.
Yeah, I have to do that. I'll do that after session, because I might be stupid and not know how to do that. Okay. All
It's
right,
all good
well,
because it's pretty much the same plug and play.
we will begin.
All right.
Let us begin. So, last we left off, the party entered the Dungeon of Thorns. But before they did any of that, they had an awesome training session to better prepare themselves for the trials ahead. During the week, they worked out, practiced battle and magic, and also bettered themselves as people through various sorts of bonding activities. This session's going to detail some of those bonding activities. The reason we're doing this is because one of us isn't going to be here, so we're doing a filler session. And also one of us is now late, so we have even more reasons. Yeah, not relevant to the major plot. This is just shit that happened in between during the training arc. So, on one of your early mornings during the training week, after your very, very early morning exercise routine and independent studying that kind of takes you into the early, well, kind of mid to late afternoonish, you all are kind of just exhausted at the moment. Look who decided to shut the fuck up.
Well, look who it is.
Well, hey, Plow.
Well.
Look who came crawling back.
Yeah, no, I'm still making dinner, but I can at least, like, be here.
Alright,
God
well,
damn it.
mute
Okay.
yourself so I don't have to hear the sizzle of your fucking skillet.
Balls in the pan.
Yeah, your balls in the
Oh.
pan.
My balls on the grill, you mean?
Bro, mute yourself
Grilling is a
now. Either you mute yourself or I mute you, goddammit.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Good. Alright. Well, anyway. That fucking guy.
What a card he is.
What a tool.
I tell you what.
I'll tell you what, Bobby. Sorry, off track. Anyway, yeah, it's the middle of the
most
week.
positive D&D stream in history.
Sorry, it's been a sporadic day. So, it's the middle of the day, and all of you are probably fucking exhausted. Because if you remember, the training arc, you pretty much just got the shit beat out of you all day. But you'd all be approached by Conrad.
Hello.
Hey, y'all. How are you all, doing?
I think my legs are dead.
No.
I think I need to have my appendix removed.
No, neither. Appendicitis isn't real.
What?
Yeah,
Oh God, is it?
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
Henry like looks off like for a little bit, like he's really like second guessing everything he knows.
Conrad smiles. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, your appendix is probably fine, I think. So, how are all of you doing? You think you're making progress?
Maybe.
Indeed.
No.
That's great to hear. Well, I might have something to ease your worries a little bit. You know, change the rhythm of our stay together.
I'd like to imagine that Ferrix is just doing like a run or something like that, and he just passes by. It's like, I feel like shit.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, Ferrix had some coffee this morning.
Eric's got stuck in the radio on Brody's chest. That's why his voice sounds all pixelated and weird.
Somebody's gotta. Somebody gotta stop giving that boy beans.
That boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right. Let me tell you. Let me be the first to say that boy, yeah, right. No.
He's the greatest of beans.
We're gonna change the rhythm a little bit, if you all are open to it, and if you feel you have some free time.
Of course.
I believe for a group of people who might fight and die together, it's a good practice to bond a little bit. Of course, you know, you've probably been bonding over your training and your shared disdain for running. But what if we all bonded over something a little bit more lighthearted? Something hopefully not as tiring.
Like chess?
No.
Beat our ass. My God, he's gonna beat our ass.
I'm not gonna beat you up anymore. No. Why don't we all do some night fishing?
Fishing?
Fishing. Yeah.
Night fishing.
Yeah. It's peaceful.
Is it like fishing, but at night?
Exactly.
Are fish nocturnal?
Some of them.
Wouldn't that also raise the likelihood of being attacked by nocturnal animals, since we are in a swamp?
No.
Normally, but we are not exactly, well, we're in the grove. Kind of gestures around, you know, the Palecrest Manor.
Ah.
Things are
We
probably
are
pretty
going
nice
for-
here.
The mushrooms will protect us, right? Of course.
Yeah. Oh, you're not in any danger. Don't worry.
I feel like I'm always in danger now.
Well,
I can give you more reasons to
Don't-
be in danger.
Please, Brody?
I think we're safe. I mean, look, Zay's in the hospital right now because he got into a fight with a mushroom. That's why he's not here.
Okay, but he challenged the mushroom. He did start that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, he challenged the mushroom.
I didn't realize his leg could go that way.
I think
It's not supposed to.
I think
It's not supposed to.
I think he forgets that all the mushrooms have collective combined knowledge of martial arts and hand-to-hand combat. That's like 100 dudes worth of combat experience.
Worth of shrooms.
Yeah, that's like 100 shrooms worth of combat experience. No, but I figured we could all just take a load off, sit and chat.
Sit? I'm sold.
Yeah, we'll have a boat, or we can sit off on the side of the river. Boat might be.
Boats are fun.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be interesting. Unfortunately, I must be center.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah. How big is
yeah.
the boat? Brody's kind of heavy.
yeah, I'll figure it out. All of you meet me by the river.
Brody can be the anchor.
No,
I could walk the
Jack.
boat out.
no, Brody, you'll rust.
Do you really think I rust that easily?
Well, I mean, is it easily if you're completely submerged underwater in like a gross kind of like river?
I'm forged of a different material.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm
Stainless
built
steel.
different.
All right. Well, I guess.
All of you
meet
meet me by the river. It's about north, the west-ish. Yeah, it's about northwesters. Meet me there. I'll head on that way.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Anyone
Okay.
needs to carry.
All of you just get your gear or whatever you want to bring or whatever you don't want to bring. You don't need your weapons, probably, but if you feel safer with them.
I got the question. Do you have the spear?
The what?
Anybody got a spear?
A spear? I think I got one.
Yeah,
in
you
my-
never been spear fishing.
No, I know. I think I got.
You'll scare the fish though if you throw the spear. Wait,
Well, yeah, not. Well, yeah,
are we
you
gonna
scare
throw the
fish.
are we gonna throw the fish back afterwards, or are we gonna is this like dinner?
Well, that's what I usually
I'm eating
do.
mine.
I mean, I usually do catch and release, but I mean, if you want to eat the fish, sure. This could be dinner.
I mean, if you ask me, it's a bit of bullying if you fucking catch a fish and put it back. I'd rather catch and eat it. Put some
Did you
use
know
to
that
nature.
most of the fish that you catch and try to release die anyway because they exuded too much energy when you were like fighting against you reeling them in? So it's like better to eat them.
And imagine being kidnapped and then just being let go by your capturer just because you thought it was a fun little sport.
Well, I'd rather be let go than fucking killed.
Yeah, I mean I would rather just not get kidnapped, but I guess if I had to choose, I guess I'd rather just be let go afterwards.
Is one not supposed to be?
Barracks, are
enjoying
you
the
are you
kidnapping?
arguing that if you were kidnapped, you'd rather just be killed?
Death before dishonor, that he's always saying that.
Yeah.
You all take the fun out of fishing.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. If you don't want to fish because it makes you uncomfortable, I totally understand. You can just forage or whatever. You're
No,
not.
I
You're
like
not.
fishing.
You're not compelled to
Huh?
engage.
No, I mean,
I've been fishing.
Conrad's got a point. If you go out and search for the herbs, we could actually make a really good meal out of some of the fish.
Also, if you're worried about killing them after releasing them, you can just sort of. He waves his fingers, and you see magic energy go between them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah. We live in a world with magic.
Clearly,
Duh.
you forgot you're a cleric.
Yeah, I did. My legs hurt really bad right now. I'm forgetting a lot of stuff.
It's okay. The leg
What
muscles are
happens if you
attached to
put-
your memory muscles.
What happens if you?
Magic is stored in the glutes.
Wait,
Exactly.
that would explain why.
That's
that
where
would
all
explain
Zay's
why
brain
Ferrex is
cells
so
are.
smart.
I don't.
Yeah, that would explain it, Ferrex.
That's why my intelligence is getting so high because I'm just getting faster.
A hamster in a wheel. Okay, we'll meet you by the river that you gave really vague instructions to
Yeah,
find.
you'll find it. See you guys then.
So you
And it.
He walks
Wait,
into the
are you
woods.
are you gonna bring fishing rods or should we bring our own? Oh,
we
Well.
do have fishing nets.
well, yeah, but that's like different from like fishing, right? Like you need like a rod.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to fish and relax, then you use a rod. If you're looking to
I've
fish,
got a rod you can fish with.
Jack,
Wrong
Why
rod,
did you-
Jack.
Why did you
Jack.
say that like a bad '90s sitcom? Just, oh gosh, that Jack.
You guys didn't hear the laugh track?
What laugh track?
I think you've been working yourself a little bit too hard, Jack.
Yeah, I don't think I have any ass meat left to sit on.
Henry kind of like leans behind you to take a look.
Ferrex also
I
doesn't
think you'll
leave.
live.
Dented
I
inward.
think it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's like it's
It's
concave.
concave.
Is that- yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's
turned
concave,
inward.
yeah.
Light is bending around it.
Damn,
Oh.
I didn't know that the asses could do that. You'll probably be fine. Maybe you could use some fish, actually.
Yeah.
Henry, in your medical experience, have you ever seen an ass be an innie?
No. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at a lot of asses, but I did not know that they could look like that.
I don't like this bit anymore. I'm gonna start walking this way.
Wait, what about the fishing rods?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Hey, what are you guys doing? Dario approaches. He looks very tired. I just
We're
woke
trying
up.
We're looking for fishing rods, maybe.
Isn't
Conrad
that-
is offering to bring us night fishing.
Oh wait, Conrad wants you to fish with him?
Wait, what does that mean? Why did you say it like that?
Oh no. No, it's not a bad thing. Conrad, he just I mean, you know, he's old and he gets you alone and then he starts asking you questions.
I don't like the way you phrased that.
Yeah.
Dario, are you okay? Do we need to call for someone?
No, I'm fine.
Can I make an insight check to see if he was on some shit?
He overdosed on gas station.
No, I just woke up. I'm tired. Yeah, make an insight check if you want to see if Dario's
Insight check,
on
he's
something.
tired.
Yeah. Yeah, bro's sleepy. Bro isn't like a drug fiend. He has the occasional boof.
He
He's the
partakes.
sleep enjoyer.
Yeah.
He's just a sleepy little guy.
No, Conrad just, he likes stuff like this. He's old and sentimental, so, he'll probably want to pick your brains about, I don't know, your lives or whatever.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
No. I mean, you guys are already doing his fun little training exercises, He likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
No, I say that sarcastically. It's not fun. Old man was a drill sergeant in a past life, I think.
He's a
Or
drill sergeant in this life.
Yeah, I think in this one too. Guy likes yelling at people sometimes. For such a nice old bastard, he does like to be mean sometimes.
It's fun
Past
to
lives
yell at people.
canon?
What?
Also, Ferrix, why did you punch me?
Oh, are past lives canon? Is that a thing?
Is this like a DM question? Because I can answer.
Yeah, sure.
In this setting, reincarnation and like past lives is a studied phenomenon because it is believed that there is some evidence that the existence of the soul, like everyone has a soul, and then when you die, it goes into another creature when you're dead, or a person or something. So there are people who believe in things like past lives. It's not fully concrete, like it's not like 100% true, but people definitely believe in it. It is the basis of a lot of religious beliefs. So yeah, it is a thing.
That's cool.
Okay. Well, what time is it right now in the game?
Like 5:30.
Does anyone require assistance to be brought?
Do you like carrying people, Brody? It's okay if you do.
I find it convenient.
I like when I sit on the shoulder, comfy.
Yeah, you can carry Ferrix.
Come here, little man.
I don't care how the grass tastes. Little man.
Brody will just pick you up and put him on one of his shoulders.
Yeah, he'll just sit on the one shoulder.
Hey, I'm gonna come with you guys.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Cool.
why not?
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't hung out
Fascinating.
with you guys since you guys were getting your shit beat out with Conrad, so I'll hang out.
Yeah.
I got
go
nothing better
drum
to
up
do
on me.
today.
Learn a little more of each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Alright, so whenever you guys want to head out, you can, unless you'd like to pick some of the characters' brains or idle around.
I guess we would just head out.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brody
nothing
would
I wanna
collect
talk
up.
about.
Henry
Brody
would bring
collect-
like a first aid kit
Sure.
and like a big bag of trail mix, like way too big.
Yeah, you bring like a comedically large size of trail mix.
Somehow you fill Brody's bag of holding.
Yeah, I fill Brody's bag of holding with trail mix. It's like over the brim. We don't know how he did it. You don't know where he got all this
M&Ms
mix
and peanuts spilling everywhere.
from. Yeah. There's almonds. It's good. Cashews.
Oh, man.
Shut.
Silence.
I need you to both cease and desist. Please.
Inside joke that should never be outside.
Almonds.
No.
Okay. Anyway, I fill Brody with almonds, and then we go to the river.
Yeah.
God
you
damn it.
You guys walk for a while until you find a small river. It's not very deep. You could probably like stand in it, but it does get a little deeper, probably about up to like maybe your clavicle. It's about 5 feet deep. For Ferrix, it would submerge him. Yeah. But
least
you
Ferrix
you
is
can
safe on my
you can
shoulder.
easily walk along the side of it. It is not like it's very gradual. Goes under the water, so
I mean,
it's
I'm a
very
fast
easy to walk
swimmer.
alongside of it.
I'm not going in there. I read this article about trench foot one time. Nasty.
Do you know favorite tactic of certain bog tribes is to drag people underneath water?
Yeah, and that.
It gave us inspiration
I mean-
for some of our combat maneuvers.
Are there bog tribes around here?
Who is us?
Who is we?
Don't worry about it.
I mean,
That's
Hey!
my line.
Hey guys! You see Conrad waving you down from down the river a little bit.
Hello, Conrad.
Hey.
Hey.
You see he has like a fishing boat, like a small. It's not very big. It's like a canoe basically. But it's there. You don't know where he got it from.
Brody will look at it and he'll be just offer, I would rather be on the bank.
I
Yeah.
would rather be the boat falls face forward that the water starts revving up like an engine.
Jack starts revving himself up.
Yeah.
I do not think the canoe can handle my weight and size.
Oh, I mean it'll be all right. But if you want,
Ferrix is gonna go up to the boat and pull out the spear and line that he requested, and starts to get down to a bit, well, skivvies essentially,
yeah, sure.
and just hop in the water.
All right. If you're wondering if you need fishing rods, he pulls out some fishing rods. They're very primitive. They're basically just sticks with string, but they work.
Oh,
You're fly fishing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's fly fishing.
I think Ferrix is fly fishing and now he just took his pants off.
I mean, he's got underwear on. He's not that much of an animal.
Skinny dipping.
No, he's not
Whoever
going
wants to
hard.
get in the boat is tied to a tree trunk over there, so we're not gonna drift off down the river.
Brody, would you like me to stay on shore with you? I don't mind.
If it puts you at ease.
Sure. I'll stay here with Brody to keep him company.
Sure, if
But
you
we
guys
can
want.
still all talk to each other, right? Like, it's not that far.
The river's not crazy big. It is like 20 feet across.
Well, like, I'm just saying, if they got into a boat, would we still be able to carry on a conversation?
Yeah, reasonably.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not yelling, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Like,
you
we're
can make a
still
fire.
within
You
the
can make a
distance.
fire. We'll probably be here for the next couple of hours in the evening. So, relax,
If
get
we-
comfortable.
If you want a fire, I can make one. And he'll proceed to start actually setting up a decent sized pyre.
All right, who's going in this
Whoa.
boat?
Get in the boat.
That's the spirit, Jack. Get in the boat. Yeah, you're. I don't know how good Jack is standing in a boat. It rocks a lot.
It's like a dog when you put it on top of like a chair, it just wobbles back and forth.
Yeah. No, sit down. Sit down.
Knees weak. Arms are heavy. Jack spaghetti.
All right. Ferrix, you're fishing first, I guess, and you're spear fishing.
Oh yeah, he's underwater. He's having fun. He's loving it.
Do you have a swim speed?
I don't. So right now my swim speed it's halved. I think right.
Yeah. I'm just wondering. Okay.
So I'm at 25 per turn.
Just make me a dex check. Sure. Yeah, you manage after a few minutes. You kind of stalk around, swim around. You eventually catch a fish. It's a
I come
small.
up and I just have it.
It's a small little salmon.
And I bring it up to the shore. I put a stick in the ground and I put it right next to the fire and I start cooking it. Well, I descale it, I should say. I sit there for a minute,
Yeah. You
Descale it.
prepare it.
spike it.
Okay. But the rest of you, just sort of hanging out, do anything
Henry
specific?
would set up his fishing line and kind of cast it out there and just like put the rod into the sand. If he would have brought like a bell or something to tie to the string.
Sure.
Jack like throws out his line, but he isn't paying attention to it at all, and he's just reading comic books.
Yeah. You pull out a bunch of comic books.
Fucking nerd.
Brody, what are you doing?
He'll be tending the pyre, because he's not making a normal campfire. He's actually going all out. with
He's
a
going
giant
crazy. Yeah, you're getting like logs, like whole tree trunks, just dragging them across the ground. Nice.
And he's going to try to keep that going because he knows the nights can get cold,
Yeah.
and
So
figured to warm the area.
you all just sort of sit around and you begin to just quietly relax and wait, because fishing is a lot of waiting. Conrad will kind of. Dario, by the way, he has decided to he like misty steps up into a tree, and he's just like laying on a branch. He does not want to fish. He's just up there. So,
What's the most comfortable fishing? I'll say, like, who's aside from like maybe Henry.
Conrad seems to be very comfortable.
You fish often, Conrad?
From time to time. I've fished. I've hunted. I've done all those things. Not often.
Any creatures in this area? Because I feel like this is like some kind of secret training. Like you started off nice and calm, and then.
No, Ferrix, I'm not here to train you. This isn't a trick.
You see Henry like straining his ears, like kind of like leaning over when Ferrix says creatures.
As for creatures in the area, other than the ones we've already seen and been fighting, I can't think of any that are expressly dangerous to us, especially not with a group our size.
Owl bears.
Not around here. Not around here. Owl bears are more north.
Usually you see their markings, they kind of mark their territory on the trees and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You see them before you hear them.
Yeah, owlbears are, they're more northern bound. They're not really a gilded forest type. In the gilded forest, you'll often see creatures, to the east, you'll see lots of goblinoids and creatures such as that. I remember distinctly there were displacer beasts along the Gold Road about a year or so back.
Displacer beasts?
Are we allowed to mention those, like, legally?
Legally? Yeah, legally, yes.
But thank God, we're always worried about illegality.
Yeah.
It's in our day-to-day. No one gets sued.
I think the OG, they got bullied out of doing their OGL thing, so I think we're good.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Anyway. There was a whole problem with those about a year or so ago. But no, we should be alright. You will, however, find lots of interesting fish in the region.
Oh.
Well, the unique thing about the Gilded Forest is that the river that runs through here, the river that runs along the Gold Road, it comes up from the mountains, right, to the east. And they say that at certain times of night, the minerals, like the gold and the metals and stuff from those mountains, they trickle off into the water, and they can cause it to have a sort of a sparkle. As such, you get some weird fish.
I did see a couple of strange colors. I thought it was just a light reflection, but
Oh no, they're weird.
Are we talking about deep sea weird or just weird?
Yeah, weird in
I think
like a
just
fun, weird in a fun way.
I read this scientific article once about this couple who came to a river this saw ancient beast. Some people say it was a hoax, though.
You see like Henry like straining to sit up really, really straight and like leaning like towards the boat. His back is to you, but he looks really stiff.
I think you'll be fine, Henry.
Except it was
what?
like,
Sorry, you talking to me? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Henry, I know you. You're flicking the fuck out right now for nothing.
I mean, but you heard what he said. But what
Yeah.
if? But what if?
Henry, we've encountered plenty of what ifs.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
look, hey, if it was here, I mean, we probably wouldn't even know.
If we
Henry slowly turns around and makes a direct eye contact with Jack.
That was supposed to be like a comforting thing. I mean, you know.
I think what he's saying is if there was the chance that we were in something's territory, it would have come at us at this point.
That's not what he said. It's
That's what I'm
fine.
saying.
It's fine. You guys are in the water. I'm on shore. So if it's gonna attack anyone, it's gonna attack you guys, and I'm gonna leave.
Well, in the story, it actually like crossed the road in
Don't-
front of them
God-
before running.
God damn it.
Jack,
Jack, I actually want to hear that story later. If you do remember it, I want to hear it.
Jack, might I inquire something?
Yeah,
Do you have siblings by any chance?
yeah, like 60.
I'm sorry? Excuse me?
Oh yeah.
60.
There's Jay, Bryn, Mike number 2, Elvis,
2 mics. Elvis.
Ken,
Ken.
Rothbart.
Jack, could your father pull out the fucking driveway?
What are you talking about?
What's a driveway?
Oh, fuck off. There were driveways.
There are not.
With carriages?
Carriageways.
Carriageway? Does your father know how to fuck a carriageway?
There is definitely not, like, because I'm pretty sure to have a driveway, that would imply you'd have to have, like...
His father is incapable of pulling out. There, I said it. You forced my hand.
No, I got it, but... Anyway. Well, that's a...
You did it.
So, I didn't. I explicitly didn't. So you, So you have a lot of siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah, you strike me as the type to be, Are you older than some of them?
Statistically, probably.
What do you mean probably? What, do you not know?
I don't know. I don't know. I've got like 60. I can't keep track of when everybody's birthday is.
So, 60, that's a lot. What, if you don't mind me asking, what race is your family? What
Oh, my
species?
dad's a hobgoblin. My mom's actually a bugbear.
Alright.
You're pulling our leg, aren't you?
No.
You, if I remember
What?
correctly-
It's weird. I'm talking to a giant robot, but it's weird that my mom's a bugbear.
Hang on. Jack's got a point. I mean, my father was a halfling and my mother was a shifter.
My father was a hamster.
Whoa. That's not.
my.
Oh, I don't like that.
Brody, your mother was a hamster and your dad was a toaster.
Yeah,
I don't like
Jack,
what you're implying.
Hey, be nice to him.
Jack, you told me, I think, when you joined the caravan that you were from up north, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the rest of you? You all got siblings?
I do.
How many do you have, and is it more or less than Jack?
It's significantly less.
It's significantly less. Yeah. I guess I have 3 siblings, really.
Technically, I have none.
I don't know how many. I mean, aside from Henry, I don't think I have any siblings. And
4
mind
siblings.
Wait, aside from Henry, are you 2 brothers?
no, it's I
like
did a lot. I spent-
emotionally, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time around Henry, and we bonded. I consider him like my brother.
I mean, technically, I'm not blood related to any of my siblings either. But we did grow up together, so they are my siblings.
The monastery has weird traditions aside from normal people when it comes to family.
Yeah, we're just sort of like a kind of a motley crew over there, but we're family.
I don't know if I have any real blood fits family though. I mean, I don't think my mother would have more kids, but as far as I know, I'm an only child.
What is the family dynamics like?
Depends on the family.
For who?
For all of you? Piqued curiosity.
Well,
My dad was an alchemist. That's where I got all my stuff from. Mom, she's More of like a ranger.
My dad is a cleric, and he's really strong. And then-
Eric, stop making so much noise.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought I was being. I didn't know I was muted. I thought I was muted. Ah.
Mute yourself, Ferrex. And then my mom is a paladin. And then I have an older sister named Chobani, and she's really good at cooking. And then I have an older brother named Monty, and he's really cool. He's like a warlock. And then I have a younger sister named Ophelia, and then I have like a cousin who's kind of like my brother. His name is Foster. And then I also have I have uncles. I have Bosco, and then I have Grimrick.
So you have a very strong combative family.
Well, really, I mean, my dad was a medic in the war, but he was a medic. And then my mom, she did some fighting, but I think that everyone else is not so much. I don't think.
How bad was the demon war?
Well, my dad doesn't like to talk about it, but pretty bad.
The War of Blood and Gold, they called it.
I don't actually know that much, to be honest. Maybe you know more than I do.
I was around. Didn't fight in the war, mind you. I got my sellsword days ended almost over a decade before that war started. But I was around to see the effects. It was 3 long years. Whole world thought the Caerleon Empire was going to disappear. It's crazy to think, given the fact that it only happened 21 years ago. Well, started 21 years ago, ended 18 years ago.
But do you mean the Caerleon Empire almost disappeared?
Well, their economy was destroyed. They were suffering from a blight, you see. Crop yields dying, nobody could eat. Their economy was in shambles. They were spending all of their money importing food from other nations. And then, out of nowhere, the Emperor declared war on the first plane of hell. With the help of the Oculatus Inquiry, they opened up some kind of magic portal, and they invaded. No one knows why they did it. I mean, doesn't exactly seem smart to spend money you don't have on a war you can't quite afford. But they ended that war 3 years later with more money than I think anybody even knows. They say the first plane of hell has gold spires that touch the sky. You know, money and wealth everywhere, literally. More raw materials than we might have on our entire planet. They have in one country-sized domain. Now the Caerleon Empire is one of the strongest nations in the world. They might in fact be the strongest.
So they are essentially a biplanar empire.
Not quite. They were pushed out. On paper, you wouldn't think they won that war. I heard almost 20% of their population died over the course of 3 years, both from casualties due to the war and casualties caused by famine.
Yeah, a lot of my dad said that most people didn't last. He said most of the people that actually survived the war didn't see any fighting.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing to say you never saw combat during the war. It was more like a suicide mission than a war. Throw bodies at a problem, and eventually they made enough money to get out. They didn't conquer anything. The only victory that ever happened during that whole war, and the reason why people abroad consider it a total victory, is because some guy who fought for the Caerleon Empire, he beat the I believe they call them the Devil Princes. Lord of the First Plane. Beat him in combat. So they called the war a success. Mortal never done anything like that, and hasn't since.
I mean, the war was probably part of the reason my village stayed so secret. Can't blame them.
You have a secret village?
It's you see Ferrex immediately like kind of like goes flustered like
It's not really secret. It's just sort of like out of the way.
Yeah, it's fine. It's out in the open. Yes, I am, but I mean, it's fine. Like, to know it exists is fine, Henry. Just rather they can't know where it is.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, it was part of the reason when I was taught growing up that we stayed in secrecy is because we couldn't trust people from outside the village to not get us destroyed.
Does it have a name?
Empire being one of the main reasons.
Does it have a name?
I swore I wouldn't tell. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
You can refer to it as the grotto.
Conrad pulls out a gun. Tell me right now.
Surprise! I multi-class.
I brought you on this fucking team, boy.
That's all right.
Shut.
Everybody's got an origin, and that's all right if you gotta keep it hidden.
20% isn't the worst casualty amount.
That's an awful casualty amount.
Of the whole
Brody.
population, that was a lot of people, Brody.
Bro, you remember when we talked about like
Brody has like 1,000-yard stare.
Brody, when it comes to war, any percentage lost is awful.
Depends.
The fact that a war exists at all is awful.
Some make good money out of it. Some make good living.
And what about the world? The battles, the damage done to nature? What about them? What did they get out of it? They didn't ask to be part of it.
Just the unfortunates.
That's why we try to avoid war.
Do you want to hear the worst statistic, but to still be the winner?
Is there such a statistic?
97% gone.
That cannot possibly be true. I
How
don't
can
think
that be a
that's
good
right.
thing?
He's not saying it's a good thing. He's just saying that's something that's happened.
I'm pretty sure, like, if half of the enemy combatant army is out of commission, it's considered a loss. They're considered defeated.
We didn't consider it a loss at 50%. We considered it a loss at 100.
Jeez, Brody.
See, this is why there needs to be more political action on a civilian level.
I mean, I hate to say it, but even speaking for the Plane of Hell, they didn't ask to be in a war. I mean, I'm not saying they hated being in a war, but they didn't ask for it either.
Yeah.
I mean, they were devils, right? So
Complicated.
Because you're evil doesn't mean you don't have a right to live.
That's also complicated.
eh,
Devils are a hard sort. They're
Okay,
hard
well,
not to crack.
When it comes to the area I grew up in, if an animal kills something or someone, or does a mass amount of killing for the sake of its people, for its young or for its survival, we don't hate the being, but just try to slow it down. We don't immediately take away its right to live.
what if
We reload.
what if a person does that? Like with the intelligence of a human being, and they like do a bunch of evil things just for the sake of being evil, not to survive, but just
They should be locked up, spoken to, and if their existence brings turmoil, you remove them from the others. You banish them. My people didn't believe in killing someone for things they've done. Rehabilitation, banishment, that's usually the routes they'd go.
Mary just kind of like smiles. Oh, you haven't met many devils then, have you?
No, but I've met devilish people.
Devils are bad news. They don't like do evil to survive. I mean, they don't even need to eat. Like they're just evil because, they're evil.
That's how you have warlords born.
I will agree though. I think going into hell, was a stupid thing to do.
You have to think though, when it comes to our plane of existence, if somebody comes up to you and says, "That man killed 12 people, he's evil," but then you find out that the 12 people were evil people themselves, and this man was just trying to protect himself and his family. Who's the evil?
Well, no one's arguing against that. I just think.
Yeah,
that
I mean, there's
devils-
moral nuance, but like devils aren't people.
Well, in the terms of devils, I mean, I don't know much about them. I can't speak, but I was more thinking of this plane. Like, if somebody does bad things here, I'd want to learn more about why they did the bad things before I immediately, call them bad or,
Well, yeah,
suggest.
Do you want to know?
People are different.
You want to know something interesting? You know, if you had a telescope, you could see the 9 planes of hell.
What?
Is it in the sky?
All planes of existence are in the sky. You can see them.
Yeah, they're like their own planets, if I remember correctly.
They're a planet, just like ours, the one we stand
My
on.
dad went to space.
Kind of.
Probably.
Well, he didn't go to space in the sense that he flew up there to it. Someone opened a portal, and then it was tethered to the same causal point in reality, and then he probably walked through it. At least that's my rudimentary... Dario, am I correct? And Dario's like, yeah, you got the whole tethering thing, right? Also, he falls out of the tree. God damn it.
Oh my god.
I'm alright. Also, to add in, look, I don't know how academic all of you are in this sort of histories. Food for thought. Devils, their origin is a little weird. They're not, how would you say? Inherently evil. More like inclined to be.
It's in their nature.
Well, it's hard to explain. The origin story of devils is odd. Seeing as... hold on, let me... One moment. I have the lore. I can explain.
The Lord.
Louder.
In the name of the Lord.
Hold
In the name of the Lord, bless this stream.
on, let me go here. Hold on. Here we go.
We plead the blood of Jesus over the stream in the name of the Lord.
Alright, so devils are weird. Basically, this is what I understand. Is their whole society is sort of based on contracts. They make deals, not just with mortals like us, but with everything, even each other. And their society sort of runs on these contracts, right? Hold on, I gotta read my own lore. Jesus Christ. There's a lot of study around the idea of their ability to make these very powerful contracts, but basically, if you examine their ability to make contracts, it leads us to their purpose, why they exist, and what they do in this world. One smart guy a long time ago said something about an evil man will find himself in hell, and that is said because it is believed the souls of the damned and evil will find their way to the plains of hell as some sort of vessel for punishment. That's not fully known. Devils and their society sort of works off of, they make contracts to further their own agendas, whatever those may be. And how they were created is they were created by a god called Void. Not a lot of people know about them. They're a divine era deity. They make up the 9th layer of hell, the bottom part of the point. Story goes, Void was banished during the divine era into the deep annals of space, and that's where Void got their name. They took it from where they were banished to. And Void then, out of their own body, created the devils. Devils were believed to be lost souls. It was said that during the Divine Era, many people died, but their souls just sort of drifted into space. So Void would catch them, sort of absorb them. And those first souls would become devils. Devils had the power to make reality, in a sense, with their contracts and their magics. How they became evil, no one really knows. But their origin story is believed that they were just a bunch of dead guys who got lost on their way to wherever we go when we die.
Huh. I wonder how they got to be so twisted.
That part we don't know. But they're dickheads. But they're better than demons, because at least you can talk to a devil. A demon will just eat you from ass to face.
You promise?
Fun way.
Yeah, you guys are about to go fight a demon, so protect your
Yeah,
asses.
I was gonna say, which one is the goat again? A demon?
Oh no, it seems there's a hole near my buttocks.
Ferrix!
Bro just discovered he has an
kidding, I'm
asshole.
fucking-
That's crazy.
Bex, did you not know about that before?
How
If he
did you
didn't have one
live,
before.
man?
If he didn't have one before, he definitely has one now.
Conrad.
What?
What? Conrad will speak up. And will be like, aside from war and devils, I know, Henry, you are a man of faith. What about the rest of you? Got any gods you worship? Followers of any beliefs?
I suppose didn't worship a particular god, but we'd pay respects to gods of nature, beasts, people, just of existence. Like, we'd pay our respects to them, but we didn't worship any particular one.
I don't have any strong religious beliefs. I mean, it's kind of hard to deny that the gods are real, that, I mean, I did read this, book by, Richard Dawkins or whatever, fantasy Richard Dawkins.
Yeah. Take a real guy's name and just put fantasy in front of it, and then, it's a new guy.
It's fantasy Richard Dawkins, one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, he argued that, the gods are just, super powerful spirits or whatever. And I mean, I don't know.
I myself do have a god I follow. Or try to. Dinah. The goddess of the stars. I think I told you all that. Maybe I haven't.
It helps explain why we move at night.
You could tell us again. I think you mentioned it, but you didn't really elaborate.
Oh, well, she's the goddess of stars and travelers. She, her stars have been used for almost all of time to help people tell directions. Sailors at sea, travelers on the road like us. They can help orient you. Sort of made a lot of sense when I fell into this line of life. So I started trying to take her teachings to heart. For the most part.
Unfortunately, I cannot claim to be a follower of a god or goddess. I don't have such belief.
It's alright.
That's. I mean, do you just like not believe in them, or you're just like not in like following them as like worship?
I do not follow.
It's alright.
Oh, that's. I mean, that's okay. There are a lot of people like that.
I am aware they can exist due to natures of books, teachings, even possible historical events, but do not have a particular following. Then again, my history is a bit different from the rest of yours.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's different. Your experience is different, but
Technically, in a sense, your history is still our history. It's
that's
just,
what I mean.
well,
Yeah.
we just don't know about it.
It just started a lot earlier than ours.
Yeah.
True.
Not a bad
So-
thing. You just got the head start.
Well, I'm still ignorant of most of your history.
Mm-hmm.
Still, thanks to Vanessa, she has helped find more of the history of recent events and of the past.
Now you know of the war, at least.
And of War of Gold, and then also the current Cold War.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that whole mess.
That's tense.
Well, they'll figure it out. Hopefully.
Indeed. But
Barracks at this point is joining the others on the shore, and he's just kind of sitting
So-
watching over the fish he's caught.
I got a proposition for all of you.
Huh.
Every so often, I have a game I like to play.
See? Knew it.
No! It's nothing competitive. It's an exercise, if anything.
Exercise.
Not. Pick my words better, Conrad. It's a bonding activity. He pulls out a deck of cards. Each of you are going to draw one card. And then, depending on the suit.
Everybody get down on the ground. It's a deck of many things.
No, it isn't! Get out of the water,
That would
Jack.
be fun, though. That would be a fun session.
No, it wouldn't.
Run.
Would?
You'd all
Run.
be dead.
A non-canon game where we just pull from the deck of many things. That'd
This
be
is
fun
not
as hell.
non-canon. This is very canon.
I'm saying just separately.
So, you all will draw a card, and depending on the suit of card, you'll tell a different story. I'm a big fan of stories, if you can't tell. And I like seeing what people come up with. Doesn't have to be real. It can be from your own personal life. Sometimes that's easier for people to tell. Sometimes it's harder.
all right.
So, are you all in?
I am what the cool kids
Sure.
say, game.
That's the spirit. So, the rules are simple. If you draw hearts, a card of hearts, you tell a love story. Draw a card of diamonds, and you tell a story of a great victory. You draw clubs, you tell the story of a tragedy. And if you draw spades, you tell a story of a past loss or defeat. Make sense?
Yeah, seems
Yes.
simple
I
enough.
think so.
All right. Well, you should all now see in the bottom right of the screen a deck of cards.
No.
Ooh.
Oh shit, fancy.
Yeah. So, who wants to go first?
So I'm in the boat, so I can go first.
Alrighty.
Hearts. What was hearts again?
Love.
Love. Okay. Shit, I've never been loved. Jack like looks down at his comic book. This one time, I was a cyborg, metaphorically. And I was like losing touch with my humanity. But then my one true love that I knew before I got into like a tragic accident, they brought me out of my my inhuman malaise, and I loved them metaphorically.
Oh, that's a nice metaphor, Jack.
Yeah, it's a great metaphor. Someone go next.
What's it
Are
for?
you still a cyborg?
Aren't we all kind of cyborgs metaphorically?
No.
This is like a Gen Z term. I don't get it. Cyborg? Don't know what you're talking about.
Hybrid
Man, I
of
love
hum-
that superhero.
hybrid of human and machine.
Yeah, I wear glasses, so like I'm a cyborg technically.
Is that? I don't think.
I got fillings. I'm part metal.
That doesn't seem right.
Typically, cyborgs are seen by an appendage or organs.
That feels like a technicality.
Yeah, well, not all disabilities are visible, Brody.
Oh,
I-
for fuck's sake.
So to be a cyborg, I don't know if that counts. Who would like to go next? Thank you for your story, Jack.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
fuck it.
It's
And also,
totally original.
I've read that comic. It's good. He makes that noise.
You can just see Jack keel over.
That was a horrific noise.
Just goes into shock, falls over sideways onto the boat.
Oh, god damn it. Fishes you out. He like fly fishes you by the collar. Pushes you out of the water. Get back on the boat. Go sit by the
Flopping
bonfire.
It's flopping like a fish on the boat.
Oh god, give him CPR! Give him CPR!
Do you want Brody to give you CPR?
Oh,
Somebody, quick! Give Jack CPR! Mouth to
I don't
mouth,
think I have the lung capacity.
probably.
oh no! If only someone save us.
Conrad
Oh,
hits you with his stick. Stop that.
Quick, Dario, I'm dying.
Help me.
You get sticked. Whack.
Ow, ow,
Stop that. Stop being weird.
You just see Brody just shake a little bit of like trying to
Shakes
keep
his head.
giggling.
Shakes his head. Like
Oh, he's laughing at it.
broken
Brody's
laugh.
head just like rotates 180 degrees like
Ha
an owl.
ha 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 ha.
It starts spinning in
No,
a circle
stop.
super fast and creates a
Stop doing
force
that.
field like Mechagodzilla.
All right, who would like to go next? Conrad pulls the boat over to the shore and he'll just sit down by the fire.
Hey, fuck it. I'll go next. I'll
Alright.
walk over to where the boat is.
No, he pulls it to the shore. Draw a card.
Okay.
You physically click on the deck of cards and just drag it. The deck in
Alright.
the bottom right.
Oh.
You got the clubs. 10 of clubs. That means you have to tell a tragic story. So, go on ahead. Make us cry.
Oh. Fuck. Wasn't ready for that one. I mean, it wasn't all tragedy, but growing up where I grew up wasn't the easiest. I mean, when you live in a place full of halflings that don't trust the outside world and you're part half of the outside world, then really wasn't until I joined the guard that I really started to meet and hang out with other people. Most of the time, it was just me and my dad. I'd go on little adventures on my own, but not people would give me the time of day. And then I'd join the guard, and then people assigned to work with me were forced to be around me. And then, well, other people saw me as not an authority figure, but they were at least open to talking to me and whatnot. Granted, it wasn't so much hazing, but I would be sent on pointless missions or patrols in areas that weren't even in... Well, I'd leave the grotto to do these patrols, and it really wasn't worth it. They just didn't want me around. Didn't trust me. And then I met my mentor, I started to train, and then I decided that living in the village was pretty pointless. So I started to adventure, and that's... I met Henry and all that, but don't really have anything that horrific. Because I wasn't abused or mistreated. They just didn't like me.
Isolation is its own form of tragedy. Especially when it's not your choice. If you don't mind me prodding, how did it make you feel? Being an outsider. Or now. I mean, you were an outsider back home. And forgive me for inferring, but it seems like you're kind of just an outsider again.
It doesn't hurt as much, honestly. When it was back home and, you only had one other type of person to compare to, it didn't feel right. I didn't like spending time in the meetings or the training wasn't bad. I mean, it was distracting enough, but you get to the outside world and you realize that there's many types of people. I mean, look at this fucking motley crew. Different doesn't mean alone. I never separated to myself. I always tried to put myself in the middle of things and be involved, but I don't know, the outside world doesn't seem so bad. Especially when I'd spend time in nature, meditating. Never really doesn't bother me as much, honestly.
Also, we're your friends. I mean, we like you.
Well, of course. I meant more on the more broader spectrum. It's hard to feel alone when you're around so many people. Well, I mean, especially being part of the caravan. I'm not as... It doesn't bother me as much. I feel a lot more at peace.
That's what I like about the caravan, too.
I mean... It's why I enjoy running so much. Freedom. Running didn't feel like you were alone. You were just kind of on your way to something. Didn't feel like you were being left behind.
Well, if you're done, who wants to go next? If you'd like, I can volunteer.
Oh, actually, that sounds like fun. Never get to hear many of your past adventures.
You never ask.
That's fair.
Like I said, I'm a storyteller at heart. I do enjoy a good tale. So I suppose I'll draw and see what I get. Spade. A loss, huh? Alright. I suppose I can tell you the story surrounding my, he kind of sits down on a log and he stretches out his bad leg of how my, leg got all messed up.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's not that tragic. The short answer is I tripped. Never healed right. Long answer. I've told you all before I used to be a sellsword in my 20s when I was much, much younger. And I was a member of this sellsword company at the time. I wasn't dedicated to any specific group. Much like now, I was a drifter even back then. Job to job, that sort of thing. Although these ragtag group, they wanted to make something of themselves. At the time, I was more cynical, didn't really buy into it, so I just sort of coasted alongside them. They took a job for some Akrazarian soldiers out by Flatgrass. Apparently there was some sort of undead problem. People going missing, coming back from the grave. This group of sellswords thought it was right up their alley. Didn't think much of it. Figured how much fight a zombie could put up. Turns out a whole lot. Especially when there's a lot of them and they're led by some sort of necromancer fella. He knew we were coming. And he had a ball of a time taking a lot of us out. A lot of us died that day. I got away. Of course, it would be my luck that even though I survived, as I was running through the woods to get away, I tripped. Snapped my ankle. Never quite healed the same. And it got worse, because I sort of just kept pushing it too hard, and eventually a bone in my thigh broke. And so now I walk with a limp. But that's about it for me.
It's amazing what humanoids can achieve despite great devastation.
Nah.
That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that.
Ouch.
And magic could never heal it?
Not to my knowledge. I kind of stopped looking. I've tried to get it healed for a long time. It's hard to be a nomad when you got a bum leg. But you see enough clerics and you get told enough times that it ain't worth fixing, or we can't fix it. Damage was too great. You just sort of stop looking. I guess I sort of wear it like a reminder to not make those same mistakes again.
A past survived is a past learned.
Yeah. You never learn without losing. I think if I could do it differently, I'd have not let him taken the job in the first place. But back then I didn't really care about strangers much. And that was kind of what everybody was. Just a stranger. Nowadays I like to think I have a little bit of a different state of mind. But that's it for my story. Who's up next? Brody. Henry.
Brody would volunteer himself.
Go right ahead. Spades. More tragedy.
And today, I thought the night could not get any more depressing. But you notice that he's taken a more thoughtful approach, more expressive than his normal self of being very stiff. And that he does a quick one nod to himself. And he thinks of it. I'm sorry, who's doing that?
Spooky, I don't think you're muted.
Oh shit, my bad.
Henry, stop eating
what the fuck?
potato
I'm
chips.
Yeah, my bad. Henry like over a snack and he's like tearing it up. And he's like, oh shit, my bad. Sorry.
Henry is like leaning over into Brody's face.
Yeah,
like,
he's got
loudly
his trail
crunching
mix.
potato
Yeah, like he's
chips.
trying to get through the trail mix. Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, he's like reaching into his chest cavity and pulling them
So
out.
sorry to interrupt you. I really need some M&Ms right now.
Yeah, shame you can't have any
Yeah,
M&Ms because you're
it's all
sad.
it's all so sad. I just really need some chocolate.
I'll tell you the story of how there's only few of my company left. Still trying to piece it together. Trying to still put an understanding. Just know that it's part of what I need to do. Needless to say, war forges of myself. There are many of me, of the company. Looks like me. Different roles, different names. Mostly by identifiers. Like mine. BR0D3. Or, as known by some, Brody. A little easier to understand. Not having to sit there and shout, BR0D3, come here. Because all of them are identifiers. What we do, what our purpose is. And we had a hierarchy. And there's many of us, but few were very selective. Very selective specializations. When you turn out to be one regarded by few, interestingly, of he's the one, or is that one? Because not many really have a name. Because, to be perfectly honest, there was 5 of me. I am the last of 5. But my whole company, I became one of 4 left. During transport, we are not powered on. We are off. We don't know what happens between point A to point B of transport. But it is not known, and not a thing that should happen is self-waking. I woke up with my home crooked, and everything rusted, moth-eaten, broken, scavenged. I had to do an analysis, collect who and what is alive, what's running, what works. 4, including myself, are unaccounted for. Or, yeah. 2 of which I do not think are around. Because they're humanoids. And unfortunately, time skipped a lot. I do not know how much time passed between. But there's one still out there, maybe. Very more dangerous than you think. Because we were best of the best company. We did what was needed. regardless of cost. No matter the resources. And as he's going through this, you notice that he's starting to get the more far away look, and the eyes aren't as focused, but are like broadening out.
Conrad will do something. If you allow him to.
Yep. He'll snap and look over to Conrad.
He puts his hand on your shoulders and he casts Calm Emotions. You can not fail if you don't want, or you can choose to fail. It's up to you.
He would accept it.
Yeah. You don't have to recount the story if it's too much.
I appreciate it, but it is not too much for now. It is also the unfortunate awakening of the first emotion. Speculation is probably one of the worst to be encountering. But I have hope I might be able to find the rest of the company. Maybe get us back to where our golden pedestal. But I do. Probability is low, for I'm the last that has knowledge. And I am one machine. That concludes.
What did your company do? Did they just make robots?
In essence, Black Book funded. Sell swords.
Oh,
We
so
were-
you guys are like mercenaries?
Yes. We comprised of majority Warforged machines. We scavenge amongst ourselves, rebuild what we can, bring back life to the machines. We had technology to make life in machines. Make it seem real. I am not one. I can make me, but I cannot give me. I am not a maker.
You can't make other machines like you.
I can make them part by part for majority of me, but I cannot make them autonomous. I cannot give
Yeah.
them commands.
Yeah, you can't make them autonomous, independent.
Still confused how Warforged work, but oh well.
We were not
Warforged.
uncommon.
I'm not saying it's not uncommon. Just I can't wrap my head around it.
No, they weren't. They weren't uncommon.
Ah,
Do Warforged have like souls?
Brody, do you want to know the answer to that as you would understand it?
Yes.
During your time, no.
Okay.
No, Warforged were, they were. I mean, you only know. You only know so much about yourself. Warforged weren't exactly made to question their own existence.
Yeah. They weren't
Um,
meant to think inside of themselves.
No, they weren't really meant for introspection. Your understanding would be that no. They don't have
Yeah.
souls. They are. They are a. You've probably heard the term mimicry. They mimic humanity as opposed to they are humanity, or mortals. But other than that, yeah, they don't have souls.
No, we do not have souls. We were made to mimic. Because we were able to get specializations of specifics. To where if one humanoid had specific skill we needed, like expertise in harmonic smithing, for instance, we can potentially mimic that specialization. And instead of taking months, years, decades, centuries of practice, it can be done in mere short time.
So you're saying you don't have a soul?
Correct.
You seem like you do. You're thinking you're feeling things right now. I mean, seems like you got a soul to me.
Perhaps. But more likely it's just part of the mimicry. It's just becoming unfolding. It's expanding beyond the parameters.
I guess that's at least more humane than using, human or any other race of mercenaries.
I mean, is it?
It's,
I mean, if they don't have
they're quite-
souls, then they're not really, dying or ever alive to begin with.
we're
Well,
war
Brody right here.
prophets.
I think
Brody
Brody's alive.
Brody feels just like we do, and whether it's mimicry or not, they created a life form that's not allowed to even have an afterlife.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is it's like, better if to like send in a soldier that if they get, rebuild them than someone who just,
Yeah.
dies and that's it.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
By the way, Brody, you would
I mean-
explicitly know Warforged were created for that very reason.
Yeah.
They so that they don't have to send real people to go fight.
We were the reasons why nobody fought in warfare. We were the expendables. We did the battles that humans didn't need to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brody. I don't think that that's right either.
That's not. I don't care if you have a soul or not. If you're sentient enough to know what you are, then you shouldn't be used as expendable warfare.
We're just money, profits. We just get the job done. Why
Listen, we're
spend
not saying
human
that-
life?
We're not saying that it wasn't unfortunately efficient, but still isn't right. I mean, you can't base everything off of results. You have to understand how those results were gotten.
With each of our clashes, we learned more, got more information, new strategies, new efficiencies. We were very efficient.
I didn't suppose he'd pick up on it right away. It's fine. Well, I mean, are you happy where you are right now? And I don't mean mimicry. Like, do you feel safe? Do you feel cared for? Do you feel like if danger were to pass, we'd throw you in it?
I'm under the presumption that I will be the danger. Keep the humanoid life forms alive.
If we came across a big scary monster, do you feel like we'd throw you in first just because you are what you are?
I would do it myself.
We wouldn't fucking let you. We'd either run as a team or fight as a team.
Unfortunately, I cannot meet you on that. It's a little hard when one is determined away. But
Well, it's kind of up to us, isn't it, to decide what value that we assign your life?
If you want to assign a value, I have predetermined values to where human life is a higher priority than myself.
And if we decided that you were just as important,
Then I'll do my best. And then, worst case, if it requires my self-determination, I will do it. You'd be surprised how many dirty tricks we have done.
Well, it's complicated, right? And we were just talking about, people's like will and whether or not that makes them evil. I don't know. I can't speak for what you were doing before, or anything like that. I wasn't wasn't alive. But from what I can see, Brody, I don't think that you're bad.
there's a lot of morals being put in this conversation, and don't get me wrong, Brody, I'm not insulting your intelligence, but I feel like it's going to take more than just this conversation to make you understand what we're talking about.
Potentially, yes.
Well, listen, and maybe this is because I haven't experienced maybe many Warforged, if not any. You're as much man as I am. And I think, speaking not just myself, for all of us, we value you just like they would value me. And value Henry and Conrad and Jack. You're as equal to us as we are to you.
I appreciate the sentiments.
You'll understand one day, my friend. And I know you don't eat, and I'll pull off one of the things of fish and I'll kind of clean it up a little better. Why don't you just sit and relax and just be one of us for a bit? And I'll pass him the stick. You don't have to eat. Doesn't mean you're incapable.
I am equipped with the necessary equipment to mimic eating.
Good. And have a bite. I got enough fish here for all of us.
Yeah, just be careful because like wild caught fish does have a higher chance.
I don't think you can get...
Higher chance of what?
I think Jack passed out.
He passed back out, it's fine.
Well,
I'll keep on one for
Henry,
him.
you want to draw a card?
Sure. Yeah, I will do that. He reaches over. Which one's that?
Clubs.
Again?
That would be tragedy.
Can we fucking re-roll this one,
Wait,
man?
we
I feel
had
like
three
this got rigged.
Do you
We
want a
have three
mulligan?
strings.
Do you guys want a mulligan?
Yes, please, for fuck's sake.
You can mulligan. Draw again.
Okay, sure.
Lad, sad enough. I can't see the
What
card.
is that?
What
Is
card
that me? Is that good?
That's loss. That's loss again.
Oh man.
Why does
Here.
this comic look like one line, then two lines,
Here,
then two
here,
lines,
here's
and one line, and then one line
diamonds. Here's
horizontal?
diamonds. Tell a story of a victory.
Diamonds. Okay. Sure. A victory.
A victorious story.
Victorious story.
Who's Victory?
Yeah, but victorious. I love that show.
Oh, I remember a couple of fights of that one.
Let's see. One time, when I was like about 9, I guess, me and my sister Ophelia and my cousin Foster, we were out in the woods. We used to play in the woods a lot as a kid, and we heard it sounded like an animal that was hurt in the woods, and so we went out to investigate, and there was a fox, and its leg was caught in a hunter's trap. Now, you're not supposed to hunt like right near our monastery. Like, hunting's not allowed in those woods. But sometimes people, obviously, they go in and they poach. So, I tried to wrap it and apply pressure, but it wasn't really working. I wasn't really good at magic. I was pretty young. I was just sort of starting on my healing magic journey, so I just had kind of the basic first aid. And while we were fussing over the fox and we were trying to get it out of the trap and prying its leg out, the hunters, they came back. And they saw us kids all around the fox, and they wanted him back. Well, they weren't supposed to, like I said, they weren't supposed to be hunting in those woods anyway, so we wouldn't give him the fox back. They started yelling at us, and they were getting really angry. And I was really, really scared because they were like grown men and we were children. All my siblings and my cousin, they're about the same age as me. Ophelia's a little bit younger, but, you know, we were all under the age of 10. We were all children, and these are three full-grown men with weapons strapped to them, and they were gruff, and they were yelling at us, and we were alone in the woods, and no one knew that we were out there, but they kept saying that the fox was as good as dead and to just hand it over, and they would put it out of its misery. But that made me really angry because it wasn't as good as dead. It was still struggling. Ophelia was holding it, and I was trying to apply the pressure to its leg, and I could see how scared it was in its eyes. And I'd seen my dad heal tons of things, way more torn up than the fox. And when they said that, for some reason, something in my head just clicked. And I'd been trying to learn Cure Wounds, and I'd been struggling with it, but something about that moment, the magic just started to flow right, and I saw its leg start to knit back together. It didn't take me long, because like I said, the wound itself wasn't super awful. It was just that the fox was losing a lot of blood. But once I was able to stop the bleeding and its leg wound closed up, the fox broke free from Ophelia and it ran off into the woods. I was really happy and proud of myself for a couple seconds until the hunters started yelling at us again, and they said they were going to skin us instead. One of them grabbed me by the arm and he lifted me off the ground, and he was way stronger than me, and honestly, that Cure Wounds that I used pretty much used up all the magic that I had. Foster tried to get the guy to put me down, but another hunter grabbed him, and Ophelia too. We were trying to fight them off. I think Ophelia, she headbutted one of them, and Foster bit the other one, but the guy holding me, he pulled out a knife. And I remember he smelled so bad. I don't know how long they'd been out in those woods, but it was disgusting. I first thought that we were for sure going to get murdered, and this guy was going to turn us into his rug. But luckily for us, we weren't, really that far from the monastery, and we were pretty close to the graveyard that, and with all the noise that we were making, my big brother, Monty, he was nearby because he liked to hang out there, and he sort of came to our rescue. He was, he was only around 15 then, but he seemed a lot older to me, but he always acted older than he was. He's a cool warlock. I don't know if I mentioned that, but he was really strong, and he managed to scare off the hunters. I don't remember exactly what happened, because I was crying. Just, 1 minute, I'm sure I'm about to get stabbed, and the next thing, Monty's bursting through the bushes, and he just looks more angry than I'd ever seen him, and everyone's yelling, I'm crying. I hear this sort of loud crack, and the next thing I know, Monty has me by the scruff, and I'm practically under his arm. He's carrying me, and we run back to the monastery. And Monty told my mom and dad what happened. And Mom and a couple of my uncles went out after the guys. I don't really know what happened to the hunters after that, but the next spring, I was out in the garden, and Ophelia came running, and she told me that Dad had seen a fox with a big scar on its hind leg, and that it had about 4 kits with it. Obviously, there's no way to tell if it was the same fox, but I'd like to think that it was. Ever since then, there's definitely more foxes that live near the monastery, and Dad says it's because of me. I think he's just saying stuff, but I only saved the one fox, but it's still nice to see them, and they never bother our chickens. But, yeah, that was a good story for me. it was really scary, but I managed somehow to do it, to fix the fox. And I'd like to think that the fox went on and had, kids.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Henry, maybe next time we're in the area, I can ask him.
Real
Oh,
cool story.
yeah, that'd be cool.
That is a victory.
And also, if I know your parents like I know I do, they totally kick those fucking hunters' asses.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope for the hunter's sake that they cleared out of there, because my mom looked pretty murderous.
Fuck that, I hope they got their asses handed to them.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my victory story. I'm not someone who's, at least I'm not someone who I think of as being very brave, but I've also not really been in a lot of situations where I needed to be super brave. But that is a situation where I felt like I was.
I'm just messing with stuff. Hang on.
I feel like my story was lame now.
I was gonna say, is Connor just laughing at his story at the very end?
Well, I mean, I was just a fox, but it was like a big thing for me.
Would you like to go again, Jack?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really have that much going on in general. I mean, you guys are like really interesting. I'm just a business owner.
How is the business going?
It's going pretty good. I mean, I've only made enough to like replenish my stock as of late. But I'm hoping that after I get some gold, I can start making some serious bank.
Some bank, bro.
You know, for a while, I actually experimented with like trying to get people to buy these unique tokens. I called it Jack Coin. Didn't really catch on.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
speaking of that, did Bitcoin still exist?
Did what?
Brody, can I borrow your graphics card, by the way?
You go
God, he's
into a
gonna turn
dungeon
Brody
and it's
into
like, we found 1 Bitcoin. It's worth nothing.
We get to the end of the dungeon, we're like, where's all the loot? It's in the blockchain, don't worry about it.
We're gonna find
No!
Jack's gonna plug Brody into a printer and print out NFTs. Swear to God.
Instead of monkeys, they're going to be robots.
They stole my apes, Brody. We have to go find them.
I appreciate all of you sharing stories, whether they were personal or not.
Do you want to hear
Fine.
favorite story of mine?
Sure.
Sure.
You got favorite.
Indeed. Believe it or not, I do have a personal favorite story. Well, theater play. It is essentially... why am I pulling a space cadet?
We hear dial-up sounds.
Yeah, you hear dial-up going on, and you're like, what the hell is he doing?
There's a donkey running around. What's he doing here?
Ferris's internet connection runs on donkeys.
His processor runs on hamsters and his internet connection on donkeys.
Alright. So, the play that I enjoy is, for easier understanding, is called Death Before Dishonor 4th Revision. Yes, I am well aware it is a very weird and niched, and very similar to what I do. And that, with it, it is an action play starring a Warforged, surprisingly. Unlike most plays of using primarily of humanoid variants, where they figured to make this into a satire action. And that, with a machine gun rogue having to do the work that's needed to be done, odds stacked against him, like 200 to 1 odds, and he was the one. I might be mixing that number up, though. But it's defy the odds. And his name was called Kilroy. His favorite line always was, I'm a 5th level caster, and I've spent 6 slots. Do you feel lucky, punk? Just before dealing the final blow to the bad guy. And he's going through the jungles, doing his favorite things of running around, taking out the fleshy humanoids that are deemed his opponents.
Right.
And that with the Death Before Dishonor 4th revision was based on expanding upon the 2nd revision second editors of when he got betrayed by his former love of another machine, that he's now has to seek revenge against the corporation that took over his old, fighting through the jungles with only the bare metal hands and his wits, always saying the cheesy lines of get swamped as he pulls them under, or got a bone to pick with you as he clubs them with a femur.
Just saying, you should make that some of your own. That'd be funny.
And
Yeah,
while he's
you
also
could
doing
do
this,
that.
he's doing like very action-esque posing and bodybuilder posing with it, like very
yeah.
animated with it.
Definitely got to make this some of your own, man. You talked about mimicry, fucking mimicry. This shit, great.
I've never seen Brody this animated.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to be like such an action play fan.
It was relaxing, especially when it spent time with M0M.
Who's that?
He would snap his attention immediately after saying that, and he's like, that is our designation for main operations master, or as an easier understanding, the boss, owner of the company.
Called your owner mom.
Mom?
Yes.
That's
We were
kinda nice.
the company was predominantly manned and run by of female descent and figures, as they were deemed better suiting over male and masculine figures.
Well,
Good for her. We love a girl boss.
Well, to clarify, Bridget was kind of the only real, like, boss.
Yeah.
Not really, like, there wasn't, like, a lot of people. She was kind of
mama.
one of the few. Just FYI.
Yeah. But he's not going to say Bridget at all. He's keeping that to himself.
Yeah.
She was the one that also kept me repaired. Did the work that usually was reserved for our typical smiths. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I might meet her again. But that won't happen. No. She's gone.
You never know, Brody. You might meet her again sometime.
It would look right into your eyes, and you could feel like sadness and regret through it
Henry like shrinks away, like breaks eye contact.
You can't bring back one that's so old of death and missing the head.
Who has a passive perception of like 17 or higher? Does
I
anyone?
might.
Does anyone have a
Not
passive that
me.
high?
I got a
Oh.
pass of a 16, my guy.
Mine's 17.
Henry,
Oh,
Conrad's making a face.
okay. What is that face?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but he looks like very
Means since-
specifically by something Brody is saying, he's like troubled by it.
Since I noticed it, could I make an insight check?
Yeah, sure.
Damn.
It's hard to tell.
Got a +7. You give me an 11. Fuck you.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. He seems quizzical about whatever Brody is saying, but he doesn't say anything.
I'm sorry to bring the mood down again. I
That's
figured to
okay.
try to
Don't worry about it.
enlighten it.
I have a story that might be kind of lighthearted, if you guys want.
By all means.
So are you guys familiar? You know my goddess is Pharnix, is the goddess of the moon. And then you guys are all familiar with the goddess of dreams, Nibse?
Vaguely.
Well,
Kinda.
They're married. Have you guys ever heard the story of how they came to be?
No.
Yes, I have.
I think so.
Well, as the story goes, there's different versions, obviously, but I like this one the best. A long time ago, when gods still roamed the earth alongside people, the gods kind of grew tired of people's pettiness and fighting, and they decided to leave Dea and travel to other planes. Not all gods, however, wanted to completely abandon us. Pharnix, the goddess of the moon, was one such god. Instead of leaving completely, Pharnix resigned herself to dwell on the moon so she might still watch over us from afar. As Pharnix watched over Dea, affecting the tides and guiding travelers in the night, she grew weary because the moon is a desolate and lonely place, and Pharnix was not a god who particularly enjoyed solitude. The isolation slowly began to take its toll on her spirit, and her sleep became plagued by horrible nightmares. Far away, Nibse, the goddess of dreams, sensed Pharnix's distress. And Nibse, being the goddess of dreams, took pity on Pharnix and began entering Pharnix's dreams and ridding her of her isolation and nightmares. Night after night, Nibse visited Pharnix's dreams, transforming them from nightmares of destitute loneliness into dreams of companionship. As time passed, Pharnix began to look forward to these nightly encounters with Nibse, and the two goddesses grew closer, sharing their thoughts and deepest secrets in the ethereal realm of dreams. Their connection blossomed into a love that transcended the boundaries between the moon and the realm of dreams, and eventually the two got married, and the heavens rejoiced, and their love was celebrated, and the sky was set ablaze with vibrant colors as a testament to the love that they shared. Now united, Pharnix and Nibse found a way to be together, despite the circumstances, and each night, Nibse and Pharnix would visit each other on the moon, and they would continue to watch over Dea, guiding humanoids through dreams and moonlit whispers. Their love story became a symbol of hope and inspiration. Those who looked at the night sky found it a reminder that even in the darkest of times, love and compassion could bridge the gap between heavens and Dea. Together, Pharnix and Nibse found a way to transcend the barriers that separated them. Yeah. That's pretty much the dream. That's pretty much the story. Their love is sort of just goes to show the distances that a little bit of compassion and love we can bridge. That's it. That's the love story. Nipsey made Farnix not lonely anymore, and she lives on the moon.
I mean, I know you had a good fucking memory there, bud, but goddamn.
Oh, I've heard that story so many times.
They're gods. Could they just like hang out whenever?
It's complicated, I think. Like god stuff.
Like they had their own duties to fulfill, and unfortunately, those.
From what I
duties-
understand, gods are kind of bound by the same laws of movement as people.
What's the point of being a god if you can't just teleport everywhere?
I don't know.
I'd feel scammed if I get to be a god and I couldn't even teleport.
I bet there is a god that can teleport.
Like, imagine you
Yeah,
were a
God
god and you
also-
came to the material, had like take a bus.
You just cut out.
No, like imagine you're a god and you had to come to the plane and you wanted to. There was like this drunk guy who was like asleep, drooling on.
You're cutting out and it's making the story so funny.
Yeah, you're cutting out really bad, like every
Hang
other
on.
couple words. Imagine you were a god.
Can you guys hear me better now?
And some drunk
yeah.
guy.
And some drunk guy. So anyway, then he.
Yeah. Imagine you're a god and you had to like come to the material plane and you just had to take a wagon to get somewhere and some drunk guy was like drooling on your shoulder.
I think once they're on the planet, they can like zip around, but I think it's like interplanar travel. Maybe that's an issue.
I have no idea.
Conrad,
Yes.
is the concept of a moving fortress a thing?
There was a book about that once. I have not seen one, no. I know some people have houses that move, like moving homes, but they're small. They're like
There's a
wagon
comic-
houses.
There was a comic run of Cyber Borgman where he like turned himself into the city and he turned the city into like this massive walking colossus to fight this villain who was like a mountain.
I have a book that I really like. It's called Growl's Shifting Fortress.
I think that,
that's an
yeah, that's the
8th level
one.
spell.
That's the one I'm talking about. Why?
I'm curious because I was thinking of being able to move and be safer as potentially making a moving air. He will do the air quote thing with his hands. Fortress. Maybe to house our professions
That would
if
be very-
we keep coming along with you.
No, well, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. That'd be pretty big, I'd assume.
Definitely.
Unrelated. Hearing that conversation and that story, if you don't mind indulging an old man and being nosy, do any of you have any love stories? Hmm?
No.
Brody would shift a little uncomfortable and just go, no.
He looks at Henry and Ferrex.
I just told a love story, so
I meant about yourselves.
I mean, there were some girls that I thought were cute, plenty of people I thought were nice, but it wasn't very popular, so nothing really came of it. I mean, well, no, I wouldn't say that much. There was one person I kind of had a thing with in the military, but I feel like they did that just to kind of make the time pass, because once we were shifted patrols, they didn't really want to talk to me much. So I feel like it was probably just for the sake of
Doing something.
convenience.
one time a girl invited me to her room because she was gonna show me her books, and then she tried to kiss me and I apologized and left.
Conrad sits back
Yeah,
against
and-
like a stump and like
Henry?
looks at all of you and it goes, "I'm sorry for bringing it up, everybody."
Hey Henry, I hate to break it to you, but your brother kind of told me that one already.
What? No, which one? Which brother?
Both of them.
Punching the air.
It's okay. They didn't mention Fiona or anything. I think you're safe.
It wasn't Fiona. She's my sister.
No, I mean Fiona didn't tell me any.
Henry's like
Look.
foaming at the mouth. What else did he tell you? It was
I'll
it was
tell you
Monty,
later.
wasn't it? What did he
I-
tell you? He's
Monty told
lying.
me- So whatever he told you is lying.
He didn't. That's not true. Ugh. He starts like poking at the fire aggressively.
No, it's all right. I'm sorry for bringing it up. I understand. You all are still young, and being awkward with love and romance is a part of the process. Hey,
Indeed.
I mean,
hey, if it makes you all feel any better, I didn't have my first proper relationship until I was about 30 something. 33.
Really?
how old are you guys anyway? I know you.
I'm not answering
No,
that
I'm looking
question.
towards the group, not Conrad. I'm looking towards the group.
I'm not answering that question. I'm old. Don't make me admit it.
I'm like 20 something.
You don't know the exact age?
I think I'm 27.
Are you asking for runtime or general?
How old do you think you are, Brody? You're the time you're awake. I'll say that. Don't worry about the years you were asleep.
Time awake. 5 years.
Young little fella, ain't you? Well, you did say you learn things much faster than the rest of us.
Essentially, when I'm powered on, I have the skills required.
That reminds me, Brody, when you're like asleep or not powered on, does it feel like being asleep, or is it just like you close your eyes and then they're back open?
I do not sleep.
So I guess you wouldn't be able to compare it.
I am still awake. I just look immobile.
Yeah, but like when you're powered off.
It's just blank. We power off, turn back on, time passed.
Yeah, I feel like for him it'd be less time passing and more of like us blinking. Like he's off and he's back on again, no matter what time was passed.
Essentially correct.
Be really disorienting.
You'd be surprised.
Actually, I got a question for the group. I mean, we're all sitting here fighting, and obviously we're part of the caravan. What made you pick up a weapon in the first place?
Someone was trying to kick my ass, and I needed them to not kick my ass. That's about it.
Right, but what made you continue? Like, obviously self-defense is self-defense, but what made you keep going? Like, what made you pick it back up?
Well, someone else might want to kick my ass.
I've seen you train there, buddy. You don't fight like you're fighting for self-defense.
Cut to Jack,
Well,
like
I'm not-
tripping over his shoelaces and like dropping his sword all over the place.
Well, obviously I'm not defending myself when we're training.
Ferrix, to narrow your question, do you mean why do we fight at all?
I guess, yeah, like I mean, Jack's reason is, don't get me wrong, it's a good fucking reason. But I didn't know if there was more to it. If it's self-defense, then it's self-defense. It is what it is, but I didn't know if there
You
was
could
anything
broaden
else.
the question and maybe apply it to more people by asking, why do we feel inclined to help people? Because I don't know if you all noticed, but you all are currently training to fight a demon for no other reason other than, well, I don't know what your reasons are, to be honest.
I guess that'd be a good one, yeah. I like that. I like how you worded that.
Yeah, go ahead, Brody.
I am contractually obliged to fulfill it.
I'm contractually obligated.
All right. Say we were to tell you right now your contract is null and void. What would make you want? Would you still want to help?
No.
Your
No.
contract is null and void. Brody's eyes just start glowing red, and a chainsaw pops up his chest.
You don't want to know his actual answer if you say that. uh, then I will be looking for the next contract.
Brody, a devil?
As stated, my company is a mercenary group.
That didn't answer my question, though.
Do you have any for Brody specifically? What's your favorite type of contract? Like, what's a mission you've been on that you did not feel miserable doing? Like, what was your favorite?
I have none.
Elimination.
Surprisingly, elimination is not my specialization.
What is your specialization? I don't think I've ever asked that.
My designation deferred to me for combat observation and recalling of machinery and rebuilding.
I mean, we've seen you fight and train. It's one hell of a thing.
I am not the most proficient, surprisingly.
Terrifying.
Very much so. There are worse in the company, like the one that is still around, potentially.
You keep mentioning the one that's still around. That's not gonna be a problem, is it? I mean,
Yeah, should we worry about that?
would you want to find the one that might still be around?
I would hope to find the one that's still around so that we can rebuild the company. Because protocol dictates that we are to rebuild the company if no other command is found.
So why aren't you doing that now?
He goes and motions to his pockets and unfolds the imaginary pockets.
So acquire money,
Correct.
and once you have the money, you leave and you search for your company.
Unfortunately, I'm required to build the company.
I see what you mean.
But I am lacking the proficiency to give life to the machinery.
I see. I mean, it makes sense. What about you, well, Henry, I think I know yours, but Jack's self-defense, Henry's is God. What about you, Conrad? Why not retire? Why not just have a regular nomadic life? Why be, and don't, I'm gonna word this very plainly. Why get involved in other business like that? What makes you fight to help people?
I've been doing this a long time. Going to town, sticking my nose in other people's business. You help a few people a few times, make some friends. In truth, if I'm being honest, for a moment. No. No, I didn't want to click on that one.
No. You will die.
No.
Too upbeat. More cowbell.
Not right now.
I don't think I have any just like generic somber songs.
I got you.
Just starts playing the boss theme.
No. He kind of leans back. After my sellsword days, I was sort of lost. Nothing new for me, but helping people felt nice. And I found Found a couple friends that showed me a new path in life, a new way to spend my time. It was around that time I made it my vocation to wander around, help people when I could. I take great peace in knowing that I'm helping people find their way in life. I don't favor myself a hero necessarily, or a doer of good all the time. I'm more of a... I'm like a life counselor. I'm just one man. I can't save the world. But if I can convince a couple of ragtag youths to use their strength for good, then I'm happy. I like strays. So I met Dario up there. So I met all of you.
You never met any, don't want to call them creatures, but creatures or massive monsters that, I don't know, the most fun to meet, the most interesting to meet?
Yeah, I have.
What's your favorite?
Favorite? Well, I wouldn't say any of them are necessarily my favorite, because a lot of them tried to kill me. I guess a
Most
story
memorable.
I have. Years ago, I was traveling mostly alone. I haven't always had the luxury of traveling with fine young fellows like yourselves. In the town of Laskerville, up to the north, in Caerleon, I heard rumor of a flooding problem. Apparently, the fishermen and the sailors believed that there was some sort of great sea beast that had drifted in from the ocean and was now flooding the rivers. Whole town was submerged in water practically. Bad problem. I decided I'd track it down, figure out what it was, maybe learn a thing or two. What I found was a leviathan. Great big water snake. Huge. Massive. And it was slinking through the rivers all around. Terrifying thing. Couldn't fight it, of course. But, so I had to figure out a way to get it to leave the town alone and also not kill me. So I did some research and I hired a boat to sail around with for a while until I found that apparently the Leviathan most likely had stumbled into our mortal plane of existence via a portal in the ocean, a little bit to the north of Argent's Bay. So I got some bait and I drugged the Leviathan out of the rivers into the ocean. Took a while and a lot of work. But eventually I led him to the portal and I sent him on his way.
You
That
ever
is
met so that's like a big water snake?
Yeah, it's like 60, 70 feet long. Something like that.
Oh.
Maybe that's what was in that report about the river monster that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, more than likely.
I never hear about them much, but you ever meet any dragons?
Well, unfortunately, young man, dragons are all dead.
They're all dead? Hang on.
Well, most of them.
When did they all start to fall off?
Way before our time. Have you ever heard the story of Yoshinma?
No, I haven't actually.
Yoshinma's the god of dragons. Also, is known as the Guardian of the World. Story goes, and Yoshenma's death would also be the thing that sparked the end of the Divine Era. Story goes, Yoshenma died in a great act of betrayal by Yoshenma's children. All of the dragons of the world who were sworn to protect the world that Yoshenma had helped his god siblings create. Dragons were its guardians. Well, Yoshenma also had a brother named Ruranawai. Ruranawai was Yoshenma's twin, in a sense, but was created by Yoshenma. It's kind of weird. Anyway, Ruranawai was said to have been jealous of Yoshenma. When the mortals of the world praised Yoshenma for his guardianship, Ruranawai's name was often left out. Sure, there was some insecurity, an older brother complex, and that sort of thing. But Ruranawai was Yoshenma's equal, in every sense of the word. However, for some reason, he didn't try to kill his brother himself. Instead, he convinced the dragons to betray Yoshenma, that Yoshenma didn't actually love them, and that Yoshenma loved the mortals more than his own creations, his own children, made of his own body and flesh. The story goes that the chromatic dragons, the solid-colored ones of old, ripped Yoshenma apart, while the metallic dragons stood by and did nothing to stop it. And apparently the dragons made of gemstones weren't even present. They knew not of what was going on, for they didn't care. Apathy, indifference, and anger. The three emotions that killed Yoshenma. And it was said that at the time of Yoshenma's death, he cried tears of white, silver, and platinum, and he laid upon a curse on his children for all of time. The white blood curse. That would be the thing that caused most of the dragons to go extinct. They would, well, the legend goes that their blood would turn into platinum, and it would burn them alive with a fire that none could withstand. And eventually they would simply die. Painful, horrible deaths. We only know this because their fossils can be found from however long ago the Divine Era was. We don't even know. It has been said that throughout history, though, there are some dragons that have survived, but it seems the only way dragons survive the white blood curse is through total isolation. So any dragons that are still kicking, we don't know about it. But for the most part, they're all dead. Almost
No one's
entirely
looking for them,
extinct.
And you said no one's even gone looking for them.
There have been some explorers who have heard rumors of dragons. There are those who favor themselves dragon hunters, but they're more like archaeologists than anything. There are people that look for dragons' hordes. There are many who believe that in the wake of Yoshenma's death, dragons filled the void in their heart with material goods. So it is often said that a dragon who might die might have left behind a hoard of wealth somewhere. But by and large, no dragons have been found. The last major dragon sighting was on the continent of Newmund, but that was 20 years ago now.
Wait, what?
Brody, do you remember dragons?
No.
Brody, you know it's the same story.
This is the same
Yeah,
telling.
same circumstances. The dragons have been dead a long time.
Wow.
Hang
I
on.
wish I could
Wait,
find the dragon. Their blood is the most potent alchemical ingredient you can imagine.
Yeah, dragons in this
No,
setting are
no.
regarded with the amount of fantastical, like, fantasy interpretations that you could imagine. Like, it's yeah, like, their dragon's blood makes you immortal, fucking shit like that. It's crazy.
Highly sought after for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Jack, you should never want that. That's awful.
Are you kidding? Dragon spit can make you see lies.
No, it's that's probably false. Little excessive even.
Well, yeah, that's the point. It's like dragon parts. It's like the symbol of excess.
Anyway, I don't know. I'd like to know the real story. Like maybe from maybe there's a dragon out there that's as old as this event.
I would think if they went in isolation, they won't even know the event happened.
If you ever wanted to learn about dragon history, you could always, if you ever had time and you ever had free time, you could take a trip across the pond to Jinkala. On our country.
They know a lot about dragons.
On the continent of Himore, warrior, you know Himore, it's a warrior's continent. The city-state of Jinkala was a divine era city. There's a couple of them cracking around. Basically, they're these great big structures that were made during the height of the divine era, but when the divine era ended, they were vacated, only to be re-inhabited thousands of years later. Jinkala is the city-state that inhabits it now. Jinkala was said to have been a city made with the help of dragons. Their buildings are made out of a material called dragonstone. It's imbued with the elemental magics of their breath weapons.
Is that something maybe doable for the caravan, or do you think that's...
Well, the caravan would need to take a boat, and we'd have to cross an entire sea.
True, I guess. I don't know. I feel like maybe even for the caravan's sake, that could be profitable.
Are airships still a thing?
Our airship, man. Sometimes, Brody. Yes, airships are a thing.
Not an option. Not an option. No, thank you.
So you're willing to skin and bleed dragons, but not get a little high in the sky?
Dragons are dead. It's not like it matters. And also, yes, Bleak Rock is super dangerous. Possibly more dangerous than a dragon.
Really?
Is the airships just as shoddy as the boat?
Probably more. I would trust a boat more than an airship, but still not that much.
Where did the times go when you could have an airship that could rival fortresses, that could move so fast?
Maybe the designs for them were lost at some point when, I don't know, time passed for you, Brody. I believe they were probably magnificent, but maybe those designs have been lost, or maybe they were purposely gotten rid of.
My home was an airship fortress.
That's what I mean. Maybe because it was a fortress, they didn't want anyone else getting on their hands on them.
I've never been off continent. You see Conrad kind of sits back.
Would you ever like to?
Yeah, I think I would.
Well, if you ever do, and plan on heading to, was it Genoska?
It's Jinkala.
Can you put that in chat just for the spelling sake?
Sure. It's a bit of a goofy spelling.
It's a bit of a goofy campaign.
Yeah, I think I would, before I kick the bucket, I'd like to see things across the pond once in a while. I'd love to see Concord, but I feel like that city'd be too loud for me.
Well, loud? What do you mean?
Concord's loud. Concord is the capital city of Ikoria. It's the most culturally diverse city in all of the world. It's built around the Ivory Tower. It's the largest building ever made.
Why is it dubbed the Ivory?
It's made of ivory.
Elephant tusks?
I don't know. Just ivory. I guess it's just white. I don't know. You can see drawings of it.
Oh, it's not made of ivory. It's. Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I've never seen it. But it's apparently huge. And it was apparently one of the first things ever made. The nickname for Concord is the center of the world. It's believed that was one of the... Ikoria as a continent was the god's first creation upon this earth. And Concord is kind of the center of it all. Might be a bit loud, though. Very touristy, I feel.
If anything, I could also assist with bringing you along,
Bring who along?
Conrad.
Well, it's nice to feel like we have plans.
I'd love to visit.
It's at that
We
moment.
don't all die fighting a demon.
Nah, you're not gonna die. I'm training you good. It's at that moment, you hear a bell ring.
Oh, my line.
Alright, yeah, Henry, you rush over. Do you go grab your line?
Yeah, well, I'd grab the rod and I'd start trying to.
Yeah, you start trying to reel. Make a strength check.
Oh, Jesus.
Can
Okay. Hold on, where?
Can I assist?
Boy. You don't need it, baby. Use your muscles. Baby. Use your muscles. You work so hard for my strong son, my beautiful boy.
Henry, in an act of strength, despite all of the exhaustion.
He wants to leave the conversation. It's getting a little too awkward for him, and so he's like, "Oh, fish, ring the bell, gotta go."
Yeah, with the power of anxiety and muscle training, you reel, and whatever fish you caught is fighting you. You reel, but then you pull, and you hear the snap, like your rod snaps, but you do see the fish that you pull out of the river. You see this massive, it's like a huge bass of some kind, and it has wings on the side of it, almost like
Whoa!
scaled wings. And it's massive. It's like a 4-foot long fish. It's huge. And it flies in the air, and then you realize you have to catch it.
All right.
Dex check.
Shit.
Dex check.
Can I jump for it?
No.
Shit, I'm not very dexterous. Shit, all that muscle. Shit.
Holy guacamole.
All right, Henry, it hits you, and you fall into the ground. But you caught the fish. But you did land very hard on your back.
I'm laying on my back, and this like fish is just like.
And it's like,
flopping
yeah,
on
and
me,
it's
like,
slapping you.
Help me!
Yeah, you all
Another
watch as this
Henry.
big fish is like beating the shit out of Henry, slapping him in the face with his tail.
I'm like holding on to its tail, and it's like flopping us along the bank.
Oh, Henry! you
Help me!
you caught a feathered blue bass.
Oh fucking what?
A feathered blue bass.
Ah!
That's a hard fish to catch.
Ah!
Purdy would go over and try to land on top, trying to pin it.
Yeah, you feel like 600 pounds of weight on you, Henry.
I'm like holding the fish, and I like think I finally got my arms around it, and then like all of a sudden it gets kind of dim, and I look up towards the sun, and it's being eclipsed by Brody's body slowly descending. No.
Yeah, Brody just lands on top of you.
Brody leaps 20 feet in the air and like elbow drops him.
You can't breathe.
You stop hearing sounds from Henry.
Yeah, Henry goes.
Brody, you fat fuck! Get off him!
Oh, he'll quickly get up while trying
There's
to hold the fish.
Yeah, Brody stands up with the fish, and there's a crater of Henry's body, just like
Henry is like
pushed
stuck
into
to Brody's
the earth.
chest.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Henry gets up and he like turns and like Henry's not there, and then Brody turns around and I'm like embedded into his back.
Yeah, man.
Brody, thank you.
Thank you, Brody.
I see.
Are we gonna eat this one or throw it back?
We're eating this thing. I heard these things taste delicious.
Henry,
Okay.
I hear you, but I do not see you.
I'm on your back.
You gotta peel him.
Yeah, it
Oh.
sounds like Velcro when you
Yeah, yeah.
Starts ripping Henry's skin.
He's got cartoon sound effects.
Yeah. And then Henry, you like put him on the ground, and he starts making like a fucking like harmonica sounds, and he just starts like, he like
He
goes up
peels
Fucking
him up,
Looney
he's
Tunes.
completely flat. Brody puts him down and like pulls out an air pump and starts pumping air
yeah,
back
he
in.
pumps him back out. Yeah.
You did a good job, Henry. Conrad clasps you on the shoulder.
Duh.
Oh,
What? That's a big fish.
Henry. He kind of
Yeah.
looks. He looks like at one side and then at the other. Oh, you. I think you dropped something.
Huh?
Conrad
Where?
points to his ear, like his because Conrad has a dangly earring. Your earring, you dropped it.
You see Henry just immediately stops being like a Looney Tunes character and gets like super stiff, and his like hand flies to his right ear, like, and he just starts like slapping it.
Yeah, it's gone.
He's like on his hands and knees in the dirt immediately, like Velma from Scooby Doo, like patting around. Oh my god, my dad's gonna kill me. Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
This
Oh my
is
God, oh my
bad.
God, oh my
Is
God, oh my God.
Henry gonna
Oh my
turn
God,
into
oh my
a
God, oh my God, oh
werewolf
my
or
God.
something?
No, it's my dad's.
Oh,
It's an heirloom from my dad.
It's his father's. Can't lose it.
And I would start looking on his back, on Brody's back, to see if it's stuck.
Sure, investigation check.
Brody would try to shift his body around to make it easier to identify anything.
Sure. It's not on Brody's back.
the fish didn't eat it, did it?
I don't know. I don't. You would go over to the mouth of the fish and start trying to pry it open.
Sure, yeah, you pry the fish's mouth open. It's a fish's mouth.
Eric's gonna go over with his knife, and you want to use this?
Well, I don't know. Do you think he swallowed it?
Well, one way to find out. And I will go over and I will begin to, well, gut the fish.
Gross.
Sure, yeah, survival check.
What? It's flipping a fish. It's not that bad. And I will
Dude.
open the fish.
Goat
Survival
is
check?
inside the fish.
Okay.
Yeah, the goat jumps out at us.
Yeah, the goat demon.
The goat,
Looking for something in the ring.
the goat just pokes its head out from the fish's stomach.
Yeah, you gut it. You don't find any earring.
It's like a little like a charm from my dad. It's like a family. Is his dad gave it to him, and if I can't find it, he's gonna kill me.
What does it look like?
What do you mean? What does it look like? It's the earring.
It had like a crescent moon design, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Can any of us look for it?
Yeah, you can all make investigation checks.
Brody make an investigation around seeing that he flattened. Wow. Brody, you're rolling like shit.
Jack, you don't
Yeah.
see it in the dirt at all. You do see something shiny in the water, though, going downstream.
Oh shit. Jack like starts to like roll up his sleeves. Man, I don't want to get wet. Henry, I think I found it.
Where?
There.
Does
It's
does
going!
Henry
It's going down the
Oh,
river.
Henry jumps in the river.
You start swimming. Make an athletics
I'm
check.
joining him.
You do find it. You can see if Jack points it out to you.
Okay, make an athletics. All right.
Gotta
all right.
swim. You're gonna
Can
lose
I
your
help
magic
swim
item.
after it?
Yeah, I suppose if you want to. Henry, it's kind of hard. Swimming after a very small item is hard because the water gets in your eyes and it's hard to see it. You
How
push on.
How far away is it right now?
It's about 30 feet from you. Maybe it's about to be 40.
Ahaha. Can I
Absolutely, if you want to, but you'll have to describe how that looks.
Jack, while everybody is distracted, just kind of like puts his arm down by the water behind the canoe to where hopefully no one can see it. And he like this like little rag will like slither out from behind his sleeve and just go into the water and just start like snaking through to try and grab the earring.
Yeah, you grab it.
Oh, that must have been something else. I think I just found it actually.
Really?
Yeah, is it this?
Yeah, Henry runs over and like grabs it.
Oh my God! Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah, now your father won't fucking kill you.
Yeah. Sorry for the freaking out. He like puts it back. It's just something that was in my family for a really long time.
Yeah, I mean, if you were at the monastery, you'd see everybody had one. I mean,
No,
not me,
they don't. This is the only one.
No, I'm saying a piece of jewelry.
Oh yeah, people do have jewelry and charms and stuff. It's like a
Yeah.
fashionable thing.
Yeah, that
Clerics
was the
be
one you
shopping,
had.
am I right?
Yeah, we do be shopping.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either, but that's okay. Well, actually, you know what? No, my mom has ear piercings. My dad doesn't. My brother has like some piercings.
Well,
He's a warlock. I'd fucking hope so.
all right. Well, let's eat a fish.
Sure.
So,
And
you
I'll
guys,
start to help gut, descale, all
Yeah.
that stuff for
you
everyone.
do all that. Conrad will start preparing the food to be cooked. And you
Brody will
guys-
give Henry a slap on the back of congratulations of getting it out of the water first try.
You smack Henry on the back and he immediately coughs up water.
The comical amount of water.
Yeah, he just
Do you require a Heimlich, Henry?
Endless decanter.
I'm cool. I'm
It's like
good.
it's like a fire hydrant.
yeah, he like cuts down a tree.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Apologies for flattening you as well.
No, thank you for helping me catch it. Fishes are really strong.
Strength is only relative until you have 400 plus pounds land on it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You really got me, huh?
Indeed.
You are strong, giant, but I am beyond strength.
Mm. Well, I hope all of you, as Conrad, he kind of prepares the fish over like a bed of rice, seasons it with various seasonings that he keeps. So, hope all of you enjoyed your little evening.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, just remember what I said about the parasites. Be careful.
Oh,
It's
cook it.
fine.
I didn't take you for such a city slicker, Jack.
What else are you gonna take me for? I'm wearing a sweater vest.
I don't know.
He also reads comic books.
He's a
Yes.
everybody, yeah, he's a fucking dork.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with comic book? Hey.
Hey, I'll have you know that there was actually a visual novel adaptation of Death Before Dishonor.
Was there?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, they're on
In
like
Sky-
they're on like revision 13 now.
I
It
must find
inspired the
these.
splendid run of Cyber Borgman, but we don't talk about that. Because it introduced the arc where Cyber Borgman sold his soul to Faustus in return for like his marriage. That was like the worst plot arc imaginable.
I must find these other 9 revisions.
New goal acquired.
Eric's talking about
A little
going out of
Skyrim side quest appears in Brody's.
Yeah, his UI like quest acquired.
Suddenly you see this beacon in the distance of like quest markers.
yeah, there's a quest markers all over the world.
Get a little Lord of the Rings golem pop up on your.
No, we don't talk about that game.
We don't talk about Gollum.
We don't
Some
talk about the
shadow
game you have to
form
pay
of-
real money to emote in.
I
Yeah,
think we should have
Brody
to pay
emailed
real
about
money to
all-
emote in this this game.
Brody
Yeah, pay
emailed
me
him with
real
stories
money.
costing $20. All those flex and poses he did, that cost him like $30-40.
Yeah, Alan is paying me secretly under the table large amounts of money
Yes.
to
Comically
pose.
large amounts of money, suitcases.
Yeah. So,
I think we bonded very well with this, by my
Yeah.
assessment.
I'm glad to get to know a little bit more about all of yous. You're an interesting little crowd. And I hope that you were satisfied with what you learned about me.
No, I want to know more. I'm kidding.
I mean, if you'd like, we still have time.
I would
Maybe on the
enjoy
way
it.
back, you can travel with us.
Sure.
You just say he can travel with us. We're traveling with him.
Think you mean back to the manor.
Oh, I was about to say, we just invite Conrad to come on his own caravan.
It's technically not my caravan, it's anybody who joins caravan. I'm just sort of the ideas guy.
The unappointed leader.
Sure.
I would also appreciate some stories as well.
I mean, I have plenty to tell. Some of them funny, some of them sad.
Any are fun.
I know a couple fables.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. You know, the kinds where they're about animals. Usually teach a moral or some kind of lesson.
interesting. Not many really do fables.
Well, if you'd like, I could hit you with one.
I'll be intrigued.
Yeah, do it. I want to see if he can fucking break his. Well, never mind.
Alright. Well, there was once an ox. An old ox. Been around for a very long time. The ox, like many, was a beast of burden, and it was tasked with pulling carts and supplies, wagons and passengers, all kinds of things in its travels. It had a hard life, as many of its kind do, full of long roads and aching backs. But the ox took pride in its work to make sure people got where they needed to go and got what they needed to have. Then one day, the ox met two foals, while pulling some supplies from one place to another. The foals were weak, young, and tired, unable to take care of themselves on their own out in the great wider world. So, the ox took them under his wing. The foals were ornery, annoying, but they brought a certain energy to the ox's once mundane life that he started to think he couldn't live without. The foals grew to be rather strong stallions, large horses, mustangs of a different kind, wild and free. The three of them were an odd family of sorts, but strong and true. One day, the oldest of the two stallions met a wolf. The wolf showed him things he had never seen in his days of travel, helping the ox as a beast of burden. The wolf showed the fowl how to be free, how to explore the wider world and the great plains, and he even introduced him to the taste of flesh and meat. The foal did not believe it in his nature to devour flesh, and he did not yet know that it was in his nature to be wild and free. He thought he was like the ox, destined to pull. But the wolf showed him that was not the case. So the old stallion was conflicted to maintain his life of unity with his sibling and ox companion, or would he leave and find his own freedom in a new, dangerous, and scary way of life? The ox in the fold told him he was wrong, and that he should stay with how things were, and that only made the stallion want it more. So, the eldest of the two stallions left, and he went with the wolf, and they would go to the great plains where they would hunt together and be free. The eldest stallion, in a sense, was a herbivore turned carnivore. The moral of this story is about your nature. And I suppose it's a showing that anyone is capable of going against their nature in the face of freedom, power, or otherwise. But it might also serve as a warning. As we all know, horses are not destined to eat of red meat and flesh like a wolf. So perhaps it is a warning that you should stay narrow and focused and keep family close to your heart, as opposed to seeking material gain and power. There's a few interpretations.
My father actually told me that one when I was little. Tried to convince me at a young age that I was supposed to go out and find me mother, but I wanted to stay there, but eventually he talked me into it.
You would see Dario.
Says that
Oh, sorry, go
my father said that the halfling in me was comfortable staying where he was, but the shifter in me needed to be explored, and said that I needed to understand both parts of me. So he tells me that story pretty often, actually.
You'd see Dario kind of gets up from his stump where he was reading a book, and will kind of be like, yeah, the thing about that story though is it doesn't really consider that maybe it was the horse's nature all along to do what he did. That never really gets explored that well, huh? And he leaves.
I feel like there's drama here.
Could I make an insight check or something into what the hell that
Yeah,
interaction
me too.
just was?
Sure.
Brody.
Nope.
Brody.
Nope. Nah.
How do I have a +7 and I just roll like shit every time?
Henry B. not very insightful.
Guess not.
Ferrix would pick up it,
Yeah, but-
that fable. Oh, okay, Jack. I'll just say, Ferrix, you would pick up that something about that fable struck a nerve with Dario. Connor, I'll just send you a message.
Lore drop, lore drop, lore drop, lore drop.
Dario 8, the original Conrad?
Shut up.
We're dealing with a simulacrum.
Dario's secretly a horse?
Dario was the stallion polymorphed in the story.
Oh my god, Conrad's a horse?
No, I'm a whore, not a horse. A big difference.
Yeah, that seemed like a really personal interaction. I think maybe, that was it was a metaphor.
Some stories that I like to make up are often drawn from real life.
I see.
It's neither here nor there.
I do appreciate it, the telling of the fable.
I do too. There's probably a good lesson there. If you ever find what it is, tell it to me. Lord knows I'm still looking. Well, if you all enjoyed your food, I know I did. We can start to head back.
Here, Jack passes around like a little vial. It's a pesticide. Don't worry, it's safe.
Hold on, you question a fish from the fucking river, yet you're handing us a pesticide. Just sounds dangerous.
I don't know where that fish has been.
I am not.
And
I
you are
am not.
giving me
I am
something
not
that's
drinking
potent.
like dewormer.
It's safe.
I do not have to worry about it.
It was tested on halflings and even some humans.
I'll take my chances.
All right, well, don't blame me when you have diarrhea at 2 a.m.
I'll just heal myself.
You can heal your wounds, but you'll never heal what you did on the toilet that night.
I won't have to. I'll fix myself before I even get that far. I'm doing it right now. I'm healing myself right now.
You see Henry pretend to heal himself.
You can never undo who you are.
I'm a boy who ate a very good
You can
thing.
never undo your doo-doo.
I feel like you're projecting a little bit here, Jack.
Yeah, Jack. Do you have tummy problems? Do you have IBS?
I have. I do, actually. I'm a very stressed person.
New Lord Jack has IBS.
Fucking hell. Do we all have like some little thing about us?
I don't. I'm fine. You guys are weird. It's a fish. You guys don't eat
I'm
fish before?
flawed. I'm a
No, you
flawed
have-
individual. Why don't you take me up on a cross and crucify me? Why don't you?
No,
Get off
see,
the cross.
Jack's
We
got
need the
IBS.
wood.
Jack's got IBS. You have chronic anxiety. Like we all got something.
Yeah, all right. So sometimes the anxiety gives me the poops, but that's different.
Fascinating.
Yes, so
Indeed.
I drink a little dewormer every now and then, just in case.
So I have a little bit of horse tranquilizer to calm down.
Oh, I have a ketamine.
Now, why
in my
don't you
daily
sue
vitamin.
me?
Yeah. So I'm
Guess
gonna
what?
ketamine
It's
home.
approved by the FDA. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
done clinical research on cure wounds level 2.
Fantasy Drug Association.
That's what it is. That's
Yeah.
what
What
it
is
stands
it?
for.
What does the FDA think about cure wounds?
Stands for the fucking drug administrator.
No comment.
Do
FDA
I have any?
the FDA doesn't exist yet.
I don't
They
have
were
anything-
fine with it, but then divine soul sorcerers had to show up and just ruin everything. Like some people just have magic out of nowhere now. Bullshit.
You just carry like the dewormer in your pocket?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
This is
Jack
weird.
pulls out like a tool belt and you see like everything from like oil to like baby powder.
And they say I have anxiety.
You always
I
gotta
mean,
be
we
prepared.
do,
Better
but-
safe than sorry.
You got a
No,
laxative?
see,
you got a laxative by any chance?
No, Henry. See, you have
I
anxiety.
already took mine today.
Henry has anxiety. Jacques has paranoia.
I also have acid reflux, but that's unrelated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Take some of my Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, it's alright. Well, if you all are done talking about your bowel movements,
I mean, we're not. What did
I
you
think
have
that
to
we've
say?
all learned a lot about each other.
Oh, I could go all night since you all want to make fun of me for being safe about what I put into my body.
it's alright.
Nobody
man.
cares. Nobody cares that you're taking the horse to Wormer. It's that you want us to take the horse to Wormer.
Yeah, I don't want you to get sick and die while you're fighting a goat demon.
There's been worse chemicals I've walked through.
Yeah, Brody's a robot.
Yeah, well, Jack starts like pulling out like a bottle of like cleaner with bleach and
WD-40.
spraying down Brody. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Hang on, I got Windex for your eyes.
It's
He's just
refreshing.
sitting there unfazed.
The chemicals just like
So,
steaming
is
off
that-
of him.
Is that Jack's reason for fighting? He wants to establish the Fantasy Drug Association.
Yeah, canonically.
Yeah, he wants to make the FDA.
Yeah.
I will clean this whole world of its filth.
Pure.
God.
Just want to be pure.
Just hey, what is this like weird slimy trail? Is this hand sanitizer?
Yes.
Ew.
Jack is like gliding on it.
Crawls out of a
I
cab.
have +5 to my movement speed while I'm in this.
So, you guys all pack up your things and you make your way to the manor. God, that gif.
I just want to be pure.
Horrible. So,
Yeah.
you guys all make your way back to the manor for the evening. Bellies full. And an evening hopefully well spent. So, is there anything any of you would like to do in the evening? Or are you content with just going to bed?
I don't think there's anything that I would particularly want to do.
You all would be greeted by mushrooms or whatever. Zylvania would like look at all of you, and she would kind of get the gist of where you went by how like you're dirty and you all smell like river water.
I'm thinking about what Jack said, and I'm like working myself up. So I do like not a cure wounds, but a fucking
Like cure poison and disease or whatever.
I do
Protection.
I do lesser restoration on myself because I've been really thinking about it, and I oh my god, I guess they're all
And the whole way home, Jack is like, and you know, some parasites actually like eat the victim's tongue.
Yeah,
just
and
replace
Henry
it.
just slowly stops arguing with Jack and becomes quieter and quieter the longer this goes on. And then by the time we get back to the house, Henry runs into the bathroom and like immediately starts doing lesser restoration on himself.
What hello everyone. Hope your fishing trip was delightful.
It was nice, actually. It was nice, actually.
Why does Henry
was
look so
eventful.
anxious? He just
mean,
ran
are you-
to laboratory.
Labani, you gotta agree with me. Parasites are a real danger, right?
And I'm telling you that the fish was fine. We cooked out all the bad shit.
Oh,
So I got.
well,
these
usually
barely
yes,
cooked it.
parasites die at high temperatures. However, Madame Elagra, Madame Palecrest has taught me that there are parasites that eat the brains of victims and control them like zombies.
You're not fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Conrad, you're not fucking helping.
Well, what? It's just factual. Sorry.
Don't worry, Ferrex. You don't have to worry about anyone eating your brain. It's starved.
Listen, motherfucker, we're gonna have something if you keep this shit up.
Henry comes out of the
I couldn't
bathroom.
hear you. You're too far down there.
That's it. I'm kicking him in the nuts.
Just like,
Conrad bonks you on the head with the stick. No, stop that. You can't just kick people in the nuts when they piss you off.
It's a valid tactic.
It isn't.
Is it?
Not in a home of God. Not in this
He's
house.
like bonking me on the head, and then he's using the stick to grab my collar and hold me back. as
Yeah.
I'm running.
He holds you off the ground, and you're just like kicking. Like,
Oh, you're back. I'm gonna kick his fucking ass.
Jack is like defensively holding a bottle of hand sanitizer.
no.
He's got like some like.
Take one more
braid.
step, motherfucker. I'll spray it.
He's got some kind of braid with spiders.
Febreze just holding me back.
Feeling lucky, punk?
This is Connor looks so tired. I feel like I'm traveling with children. These are grown men.
Henry sweats a little bit. Yeah,
Technically, I'm still classified as a child.
yeah. Brody's only 5.
God.
Basically saying you have two men and like you have two 30-year-old men or almost 30-year-old men.
Yeah, the
Well,
30-year-old men are fighting, or the actual children are just standing
The
there.
girls are fighting.
Yeah, the 5-year-old and the 18-year-old are just chilling. Zylvania like scratches the top of her head. Well, you all seem a lot looser. Mentally.
They're acting weird. I think the parasites got to their brains.
No.
There's no fucking parasites.
Not gonna get to my brain because I took my iodine.
What?
That's radiation.
You don't know. I made it safe. I got shit you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I believe you're full of shit. That's for fucking sure.
Why do I feel like it's a chemical cocktail in his stomach?
Would all of you like some nighttime tea? Vanya is like sweating.
I would appreciate.
She looks so anxious.
Ferrix calmly turns around and just, oh, actually, that sounds lovely. Thank you.
Okay, you just have to promise not to keep being so loud.
Oh, no, I love that. It's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the offer.
Oh,
They're walking to go get
yes.
the tea. He's just, do you have any honey?
Yes, of course. We have red honey, but I don't totally recommend it.
Oh, no,
I
it's
don't
fine.
totally recommend it.
It's no.
Yeah, red
What's
honey.
red honey?
Red honey makes you see visions, like hallucinations.
Well, Henry said I can't have coffee anymore, so might as fucking well.
That's well, no, maybe no.
That canon event hasn't taken place yet.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
No, dude, you cannot divert the canon. That's
This is the same
spoilers.
shit as that fucking... No, this is that fucking D&D story where the guy made a prequel one-shot, and there's a mountain that wasn't there before.
Yeah. How'd that man get you?
And I'm so excited to see what happens to the mountain.
I
Me
would
too,
do.
buddy,
I
me
would do
too.
some shit like that.
I feel like any of us DMing here would do something like that, and we're all petty enough to call out that small detail.
I think we forget about it.
Yeah, but you all drink some tea and argue about dewormers some more. But a night of being kind of stupid together does ease the tension that you might have had about having to fight a demon. So, you enjoy an evening, and with that, we will end the session, I think.
Can't believe Zay is fucking dead.
Yeah, I can't believe Zay's fucking dead. The worms got him, dude.
Zay Zay woke up late and did his own thing. That
Zay was bitten by a radioactive worm.
Zay was just like fishing his gay, and he just left.
Maybe Zay could have done something on his lonesome. Who knows? We'll figure it out. I don't know. Maybe jerked off. I don't know.
Well, being Zay.
Took him 5 hours.
Being Zay, and
He's
he's becoming
thorough.
a bar.
Dude, master
He
of
spares no
everything.
expense.
It's important. It's like you gotta like wine and dine yourself.
It's
He's trying to
part
learn
of
the
his
one
meditation.
note flute.
Yeah.
Zay's been like having an epic anime fight with a mushroom, and we just like see glimpses of him from time to time.
Yeah, we're like we're both trying to hold Ferrix and Jack back from each other, and then you just see through the windows that like Zay getting like thrown around and beaten up by like a mushroom.
Yeah.
Good.
There's like very muted like Dragon Ball Z music playing from outside.
It's muted Dragon Ball Z music, but it's like muffled from the window.
Yeah. So, that is the end of session 10.5. And next week, we will resume our regularly scheduled programming.
Hopefully.
Yay!
Hopefully.
I hope that lore drop was good.
Yeah.
Eric's just casually dropping. Yeah, I'm from a fucking hidden leaf.
Yeah,
village
there
type
was
shit.
some
That was-
lore, some personal stuff revealed about your guys' families and lives.
There was dewormer.
There was some dewormer.
So funny.
I love the fucking.
I like
It's
that. I
really
like
cool.
Jack taking iodine somehow for the parasites. I do like that. Why would you do that? You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
They could be living in my thyroid. Why would they
It's-
be in your thyroid?
Isn't iodine what they put in water to like purify it?
No.
That's chlorine.
Oh, like to make it like safe for human consumption.
Chlorine.
Yeah,
Don't put
no.
chlorine in water to make it safe for human consumption.
Iodine is a thing that goes into your thyroid, and people take it sometimes. It's like your body doesn't create it, but it needs it, and people take it sometimes to help not get like radiation poisoning.
You don't know. Maybe the worms are radioactive.
I mean, I guess.
I'm waking up. I'm breaking out. I'm checking out at the prison bars.
That's
This
your
is
favorite
it. The
band.
apocalypse.
That's Jack's favorite band,
Whoa.
Imagine Dragons. Because they're all dead. You have to imagine them.
Yeah, you have to imagine.
For once, lore relevant.
But yeah, that was a lot of lore this session, but it was fun.
Yeah. It was kind of just nice and peaceful. We had this was good world building, I think.
Yeah.
We had
Oh,
some
yeah.
tales that we
It was-
told, you know.
I'm definitely interested about the other continents now, like, because that's some heavy lore I'd love to explore one day.
I don't know. I mean, if you guys want to, at some point, if you'd really like to go somewhere.
We finally meet a dragon, and Ferrex is trying to talk to him, and Jack is like trying to make Scooby-Doo schemes to steal his blood.
I mean, literally, we could just drop anchor from the quest we're doing now and just yeet ourselves over.
Yeah, let's just forget the fucking demon. Let's
fuck
go.
you, Donnie. Shit.
We go find dragons.
No, you could do that. You could do that.
It's gonna drop anchor, drops Brody overboard.
This down
With
to
a
Donnie
chain attached
fighting
to it.
back spears. Yeah, you guys can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing stopping you guys
Yeah, it's a
technically.
D&D game.
I'm not gonna railroad you or anything. You can do it.
This is
No, I
Don's,
promise I
this is
wouldn't
Don's
railroad
canon
you
event.
You're diverting my canon event. Gonna destroy the whole world. No, listen, you could go wherever you want. Just get to the northern part of the continent first.
Why?
Finish the road, because that's Conrad's loop. He goes from the southern part of the continent to the northern part, and then he ends it, and then he comes back down, and then he starts it all over again. He does that every year. So just to get to the northern part and end it, and then you can go wherever you want. After that.
Sounds like a plan.
just don't
Okay,
fucking...
but Don, other suggestion. But what if we don't?
Please,
Just a question.
please.
What if
if
we
we
cause
don't?
problems on purpose?
I mean,
What
like,
if we were
you can, like,
problematic?
leave for a bit and, like, come back to the road, but... Just come back.
What
please.
if we're
Yeah, I'd rather
bad?
just
Yeah.
not, actually. That just sounds like more fun.
Alright, well... Fine.
Alright, viewers, tune in next time to see whether or not we torture Dawn.
Yeah, let's get a poll in the chat. Should we torture Dawn?
Let's start a poll, guys. Let's start a poll.
With our 2 viewers.
Yeah, if you want to see us torture Dawn, remember to smash that motherfucking like button. Subscribe for more. And send money.
And dewormer.
Yeah, send dewormer.
Alright, I'm ending this stream. Bye-bye.
Hashtag ad.
See ya.